can't leave us alone.
Windows pulled up, and Karen's son Matthew stepped out of the lead vehicle. He looked exactly like you'd expect a federal prosecutor to look. Crisp suit, serious expression, and the weight of the world on his shoulders. "Mom," he said quietly.
Fuck
and in that
off.
single word, I heard years of frustration and disappointment. Karen tried to stand, but couldn't. "Matthew, sweetheart, you
Dude,
don't
go
understand.
away.
They're all
Leave me
suspects."
alone.
She pointed at me with a shaking hand. "The lawyer. He's the ringleader." Matthew ignored her and walked over to me. "Mr. Walker? I'm Matthew Whitfield, Department of Justice. I know who you are." The Miller case, I studied it. My chest tightened again. Would this nightmare never end? "I'm not practicing anymore," I said. "I know," Matthew replied. "I also know
Kick him.
Miller was exonerated 6 months ago.
Block
The
him and
real
kick him.
perpetrator confessed. You weren't responsible for what happened. The world tilted." I grabbed Tom's arm to steady myself. "What did you say?" Matthew's expression softened slightly. "James Miller is free. The prosecutor in that case withheld evidence. It wasn't your fault."
Yeah, dude blocked me down
But there
here.
was no time to process this earth-shattering news because Jessica
No, he
Park
didn't.
was laying out
No, block
documents on the
him.
hood of Rodriguez's patrol car. "These are 3 years of HOA financial
Oh, Jordan, give me a
records,"
sec.
she announced. "I've been collecting evidence since I became vice president. Karen hasn't just been taking $15,000 this quarter. She's embezzled nearly $200,000 total." The crowd gasped. Several
Without
people started
Harvey.
shouting at once. Karen struggled to her feet. "Lies. All lies. That money went to security, to keeping you safe. Do you want to know what I've protected you from?"
Me a sec.
She pulled out her phone and started scrawling frantically. "Johnson, you think nobody knows about your gambling problem? Smith, your daughter's shoplifting incident at Target.
I blocked
Henderson,
him.
your illegal cameras that you think are so clever, but something strange happened."
I blocked
Instead
him
of
down
being
on
shocked or
reality.
afraid, people started laughing. Mr. Johnson stepped forward. "Gambling problem? I play poker with my brother-in-law every Thursday. $5 buy-in." Mrs. Smith chimed in. "My daughter is 7. She tried to walk out with a candy bar, and I made her apologize. Even Mrs. Henderson joined in. We've already established my cameras are birdhouses, dear."
My question is, why can't we find anyone that's
The laughter seemed to break
fine?
something in Karen. She turned to
Not trying to
Larry,
fetch off
something rolled
24/7.
out of his face. Tell them about the contracts. Tell them about data mine." Larry looked miserable.
I was trying not to yell.
"You don't actually know about any of that? You just paid me $500 to
Today
show
is supposed
up
to be
if
a
you
calm
ever need a
day
lawyer.
of
I'm
streaming.
actually a tax attorney. I don't do criminal law."
But no, I can't do
This
that.
revelation sent another wave of
Never can have a
laughter through
calm
the crowd.
day.
But Matthew Whitfield wasn't smiling. "Mom, we need to talk about Datamine Corp. now." Tom Bradley cleared his throat. "I can help with that. 3 months ago, Karen came to me with a proposition. She said a company would pay good money for consumer insights. Shopping patterns, basically. She offered to split the profits if I gave her access to our customer data." Several people turned to stare at Tom in
Back
disgust.
normal, okay?
"I didn't do it," he said quickly, "but I kept the email.
That's much better.
I was planning to report it, but I wanted to gather more evidence first."
I was doing my
Then
breathing
today, when I
exercises,
saw her
calm
in those
down.
bushes again, I knew
Real
something
quick.
was about to go down. Andy Mitchell had been typing on the phone this entire time. "Datamine Corp is registered in Delaware," she announced. "They've been sued 12 times in the last 2 years for privacy violations. They're currently under federal investigation for selling personal data to identity thieves." Karen's face had gone from purple to white to a sickly green. "No, that's not. They said it was for marketing. They said it was legal." Matthew shook his head. "Mom, you've been recruiting people to spy on your neighbors. You've been selling illegally obtained personal information. Do you understand?"
You wanna go for the
"But
bunker?
I was protecting everyone," Karen wailed.
Honestly,
"After Richard left after the break-in,
get a couple
you
weapons
needed to
and
know
see if we get lucky
everything.
with
I needed
a
control. If you
red
know
key
how
card,
patterns, you can predict
red or
danger.
blue.
You can stop bad things from happening.
So I guess if you get one of the key cards, you can
A
open
woman
multiple
so
with one
broken
key
by
card
loss
caller.
and fear that
So if you get both key card
she
callers, then you're
was
chilling.
trying to protect against.
Imagine if we both get
My
both of
sympathy was
them.
limited,
We split up and we
especially
loot
when
up
she turned
every
the
single
wild
vault.
eyes back to me. "And you think you're so smart, so above it all, but I know things about you too. I know about your visits to Miller. I know about the money you've been giving him." Now it was my turn to feel exposed. Yes, I'd been helping James Miller financially since he got out of prison. He was homeless, largely because of my failure as his attorney. But how could Karen possibly know that? Mrs. Henderson cleared her throat.
Yeah,
"I
Grandpa.
think I can explain that," she said. Everyone
Yeah.
turned to look at her. Karen hired a private investigator. He's been following
It
several
just
of you
goes
for
through all
months.
his
I have
history,
video
so
of him, too.
this
He
is
drives
his
a
next
Toyota
video up.
Camry,
Sorry.
license plate 7XLN4.
Look, I don't get copyright
He's
for
actually
this.
parked
This is
around
the fun
corner.
part. I can listen to this
As
and
if on
not get
cue, we heard
copyright.
an engine start and tires squeal.
Right, Super?
A blue Camry shot past us. The driver clearly trying to flee. One of the
I can
FBI
watch
agents
this
spoke
and not
into
get
his
no
radio.
copyright,
Within seconds, another
strikes
black
from
SUV
this.
was in pursuit.
Don't know
Matthew
why.
looked tired. Mom, how many people have you been having followed? Karen was crying now, ugly sobs that shook her entire body.
I'm gonna have to
20
sprint now.
people, she whispered.
I'm sprinting
Maybe
over there right
24.
now. I gotta quick
lost
shut the
count.
door because someone blew it open again.
Reports every week.
I'll put in the
I have
code.
files on everyone.
I have it memorized.
Their schedules, their habits, their secrets. The crowd's laughter had died completely. The violation was too great, too invasive to be funny anymore. Rodriguez stepped forward.
Done.
Mrs. Whitfield, I'm placing you under
That was
stalking, harassment, and conspiracy to commit identity theft. You have the right to
See, that's
remain
fast.
silent. But Karen was listening. She was staring at me with those wild eyes. This is your fault, she said. If you hadn't moved here, if you hadn't broken the pattern, none of this would have happened. You lawyers, you
They're trying to
ruined
find
everything.
a
Just like Richard.
key card.
Just like all of them. As
You
Rodriguez
can fly over to the other
a beat-up
vaults, too.
sedan pulled into the street. A man got out and my heart nearly stopped.
No key cards.
It was James Miller. Older, grayer, wearing clothes from a thrift store.
We could head for Vault 1 and 3.
He walked straight up.
Those two are
Mr.
numbered, I
Walker,
think, if I'm
he
correct.
said. I heard there was some trouble.
We could head
Thought
for
you
the other
might need a
vaults that
witness.
has
See,
passwords.
that lady's
Where was
investigator
one
has been
again?
Following me too. Trying to figure out why you've been helping me. I've got pictures of him taking pictures of that.
Yeah, right here.
Just
Buy
like
station.
That, the victim of my greatest
The buy
failure had
station.
come to help me in my hour of need.
Okay.
I felt
You think
tears
we can
running
go
down
for
my
those?
face and didn't even try to stop them. James Miller stood there.
They're
weathered
both,
but
I think, in
dignified.
circle,
I couldn't
too.
find
Yeah.
words. 2 years of guilt, of self-imposed exile from the law.
Sad, I can
Here was
take
the
this
man
car.
I failed, offering to help me. I never blamed you, he said quietly, loud enough for only
I'm
me.
happy that we just kicked that dude out.
Failed us both. Karen, now in handcuffs, watched this exchange with growing fury.
Wait, you already had enough?
See, I told you they were working together. This is a conspiracy years in the making.
I'm gonna grab my
Matthew Whitfield
sniper.
loved his temples. Mom, please stop talking. Anything you say
What?
can and will be used against you. Rodriguez was about to put
I'm about
Karen
to bring
in
the
his
car with
patrol
me.
car when 3 more vehicles arrived. Not FBI this time, but news vans. Someone had called the media. Reporters jumped out with cameras and microphones, and suddenly our quiet suburban street looked like a circus. Is it true the HOA president has been running a spy ring? One reporter shouted.
I'm gonna try.
Can you
I'm
confirm
gonna wait, get
FBI
the turn,
involvement
and
in
then
a
I'm
data
gonna
theft
king you.
operation? Another
I have to look up Vault
Karen
1's
seen
code.
cameras underwent a transformation. She straightened
Again.
up, stopped crying, and put on what I can only
So I think no one
describe
landed
as
for the
her
vaults.
presidential face.
Bunkers.
Citizens
Oh my
of
god, I
the
keep
world,
calling them
she
vaults.
announced, as if she were giving a State of the Union address. I have been protecting this community from threats
I'm trying to
you
be careful
cannot
not to hit
imagine.
anything else.
Crime statistics in our neighborhood are down 40% since I took office. Because everyone's too scared to leave their houses, someone yelled from the crowd. The reporters loved it. Cameras swung between Karen and the heckler.
How far
eating
are
up
we?
the drama. Emma Mitchell stepped forward, ever the professional. If the media wants a statement, they should
What?
know that Mrs. Whitfield has been systematically violating the privacy rights of every resident in this neighborhood. We have evidence of stalking, unauthorized surveillance, and the sale of private information to third parties. Larry, the tax attorney, still pulling thorns from the suit, tried to object. My client hasn't been convicted of anything. This is... He faltered, clearly out of his depth. Defamation, Emma suggested helpfully. Slander, perhaps you meant libel, though technically, since we're speaking and not writing, I know what I meant. Larry snapped, though he clearly... One of them stuck a microphone. Sir, are you the lawyer she accused
Wait,
of
what?
groceries? Can you comment on these allegations? Something shifted inside me. For 2 years, I've been running from who I was, from what I knew. But standing there, with James Miller beside me and my community under attack, I felt the old instincts return. My name is Brandon Walker, I said, looking...
After the gulag, we're gonna go ahead to bunker 1 and 2, 1 and 3, and see if we can loot it for brand new
Not
stuff.
just absurd, it's indicative of a larger pattern.
So I feel like insulting someone to
Terrorizing
bring up the
people.
mood, so...
The crowd murmured approval. Someone even clapped. Matthew Whitfield took control of the situation with the efficiency of a federal prosecutor. Media will need to step back. This is an active crime scene. He turned to the crowd. I know you all have questions. There will be a community meeting tonight at 7 p.m. at the community.
I just letting him shoot.
We'll explain everything we can. Then he looked at me. Mr. Walker, I'd like to speak with you privately. Mr. Miller,
where am I? My vault.
Moved away from the chaos to
Where's those
SUV.
vaults are?
Inside,
Right here.
tinted windows giving us privacy.
See, so just glide. When you get out, just glide.
My mother's activities go deeper than you know. She wasn't just working with one private investigator. She built a network. He showed me a diagram that looked like something from a conspiracy theorist's wall. Karen was at the center, with lines connecting to private investigators, data brokers, and even some Willowbrook residents.
You grab a helicopter and meet me over here, okay?
Mrs. Patterson from Oak Street was reporting on her neighbors for $50 a week. The teenager who mows lawns, Tommy Morrison, was taking pictures of people's mail. She turned our neighborhood into East Germany. I studied the diagram, my legal mind automatically analyzing the implications. This is racketeering, I said. RICO charges. She built a criminal enterprise. Matthew nodded grimly. That's what we're thinking. But here's the thing. Datamine Corp is just the tip of the
Okay, I gotta pull up my
thing.
thing.
To 3 other companies, all harvesting data from similar operations across the country. Sloan stumbled into something much bigger than she realized. James Miller, who'd been quiet until now, spoke up. Is that why the investigator was following me? Because I don't have any data worth selling? No, Matthew said. We think Mom was trying to build a case that Mr. Walker was somehow involved in criminal activity. She knew about your history, Mr. Walker. She was convinced that any lawyer who'd let a client go to prison must be corrupt. When she found out you were helping Mr. Miller financially, she thought she found evidence of something. Payoffs, maybe. Guilt money. She was building a file to destroy you. The revelation hit me like a physical blow. All this because of her prejudice against lawyers, stemming from her ex-husband. Your father was a lawyer, I asked? Matthew's face darkened. Defense attorney, specialized in white-collar crime. Very successful, very charming, and completely amoral. He left Mom for a younger woman and cleaned out their accounts using every legal trick in the book. Mom got almost nothing in the divorce. It broke her. She's hated lawyers ever.
I hate trying to put this one in because of how fast it is. You almost here?
Rodriguez directing traffic. Reporters doing stand-ups for the evening news. But inside this SUV, the real story was coming together. What happens now? I asked. Now, Matthew said, we take down Datamine Corp. But I need your help. You know this community. You have the legal expertise. Will you consult with us? Unofficially, I looked at James Miller, the man who's free.
Mind if I just loot this then?
Would still come to support me. I thought about my neighbors.
Okay, I'm gonna see if I can get lucky with some cards.
I thought about 2 years of hiding from who I was. Yes, I said. I'll help. Matthew smiled for the first time. Good. Because tonight's community meeting, that's where we fight back. Mom might be going to jail, but Datamine Corp needs to burn. As we prepared to leave the SUV, Matthew's phone buzzed. He looked at it and frowned. That's strange. Datamine Corp just filed an emergency injunction to stop the community meeting. They say we're interfering with their legitimate business operations. I felt a familiar fire ignite in my chest. The same feeling I used to get before a big case. Let them try, I said.
Wasn't it over here? Yep, next one's over here, right?
Fight an injunction. For the first time in 2 years, I felt like myself again. The sleeping lawyer was finally awake. The Willowbrook Community Center hadn't seen this much action since the
it could be there
Christmas
too. I don't
decoration
remember
debate
directly, but
2019. By 6:45 p.m., every seat was filled, and people were standing along the walls. Someone had set up a live stream, and according to Emma Mitchell, who was monitoring on her phone, over 50,000 people were watching online. The comment section was going wild with messages like, Karen got Karen, and H.O. Justice. I stood at the side with Matthew Whitfield and his FBI colleagues, watching the crowd gather. Karen was notably absent, having been released on bail with an ankle monitor, but her loyal supporters were there in force.
It's over here. I marked the wrong location.
Larry Goodman shuffled in.
I didn't get the card yet. I might get lucky here.
He carried a briefcase that looked like it had survived.
Bunker 2 is right here, and Bunker 2 is...
From a home printer. I'm here to
Bunker 2 has been opened.
Whitfield's interests, he announced to no one in particular. Rodriguez, who was providing
Bunker 3, I haven't checked yet.
Head. This should be interesting.
I think I didn't get much from here.
As acting HOA president,
I don't know if they opened Bunker 3 yet.
Prepared thoroughly with a PowerPoint that actually meets.
Oh, I gotta take my headset off.
Documentation to back up every claim. But before she could start, Larry...
Have you looted both bunkers already?
Object, he shouted. This meeting is illegal. Mrs. Whitfield didn't approve it.
I can. Hey, listen. I'll cut you a deal. I can open bunker 3 for you, but you can't kill me.
Larry, Jessica said patiently, Karen is suspended pending criminal.
I'm coming out. I'm in bunker 2.
President. This meeting is perfectly legal.
I can show you. I can unlock this for you. Just don't shoot me. I'm right here. I'm jumping.
According to
I'm jumping.
Robert's rules.
Hey, follow me.
Trailed off. Apparently realized.
So bunker 3. Let me pull up my code.
Oh, sit down, Larry. Someone
this is bunker 3.
The crowd laughed. Jessica began her presentation, and within minutes, the mood shifted from
it's already unlocked.
To angry. She showed financial records, receipts, bank statements. Karen hadn't just stolen $200,000.
Oh, sorry. I thought it was.
Investigators, data
Sorry.
And even
got any armor plates? I just literally spawned in. Okay. I just opened bunker 1. Let me pull up my code access.
The contract was signed last week. The company was coming Monday to install them.
Got it.
The crowd erupted.
Don't kill me. I just want to go after this.
The live stream viewer count.
So it's 30198
something odd. 3 people in
805. No, can I go?
They were taking notes, whispering to each other, and one was typing furiously on the laptop.
3019805.
They're here to intimidate. As if on cue, one of them stood up. Excuse me, she said in a voice that could freeze hell.
Can I loot this, please?
Chief Legal Counsel for Datamine Corp. This meeting is spreading defamatory information.
Yeah, I already saw. I was just at bunker 2.
Immediately. The crowd turned to look at her, and the tension ratcheted up.
You're welcome.
But Jessica Park wasn't intimidated. Ma'am, we're discussing the financial records of our HOA. If your company's name appears in those records...
Dude, you need cash. I got like 19,000.
You don't know who you're dealing with, Linda Patterson said.
Man, I'm jealous.
He has resources you can't imagine.
Honestly, you chill.
Bury this
I'm live streaming right now.
That's when I stood up. I hadn't planned to speak, but the threat
I'm live streaming.
Overrode my caution. Actually, I said, my voice
on YouTube
across the room. I think you don't know who you're dealing with. The room went quiet.
Okay. Yeah, that bunker where the buy station you're probably going to be heading for has already been opened.
My name is Brandon Walker. I'm a resident here, and yes,
tell your team, I'm gonna stay down here.
A pretty good one, actually. And I can tell you
I'm live streaming on YouTube, by the way. It's the Great King Bendy, no spaces.
It's potentially criminal intimidation. Linda Patterson's eyes narrowed. Mr. Walker, we know who you are. The lawyer who let an innocent man go to prison. You really want to get involved in this? The blow was calculated to hurt, and it did, but I've been hit hard.
Yeah, wait.
Yes.
Just have a quick drink before you go.
I do, because I learned something from that case. I learned that staying silent when you see injustice leads to complicity.
Ow!
So let me be very clear.
We're trying to have a chat.
Your company has been buying illegal.
Yeah, wait, I gotta make sure.
Spies. You've been violating federal privacy laws, and now you're trying to intimidate witnesses. Every person in this room is a potential federal witness. Every threat you make is another count of obstruction.
I won't be able to barely hear you. I gotta put my earbuds real quick. Hey, Super, I found a chill dude.
Brandon. The live stream viewers went crazy. The count.
Look at my stream, Super.
Linda Patterson's face.
Oh yeah, sure. I'll give you mine.
Whispered urgently with her colleagues.
I'll give you my pistols. They're a one-shot kill. Me in this car. Yeah, I gotta get on top. Super's right now heading this way. Super, meet me at the buy station over here.
And we'll need your laptops. The Datamine lawyers looked like they'd...
Are you solo, dude?
As they were escorted out, the meeting erupted again. People were hugging, high-fiving, celebrating, but I wasn't done.
Ow, 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 ow.
Listen, everyone, this isn't
Dude,
over.
don't leave me.
Karen Whitfield was just one person in a massive network. Datamine Corp
I was gunplates.
50 cities.
Back on top.
They prey on fear, on our need for security, on the petty divisions between neighbors. They turn us against each other for profit. But look what happened here. When we stood together, when we refused to be intimidated, we won.
Are you a solo?
That's the power we have. The speech wasn't...
You want to join me and Super after this game?
Somewhere deep. 2 years of guilt and silence, breaking like a dam. Jessica called for a vote to formally remove
add me.
as HOA president.
Can you add while you're in the game?
Or
no?
Position. It was
I'm gonna buy me a loadout too.
5 supporters
I like the same idea.
Then,
be careful! Dude, move!
Remove all surveillance.
I should have tossed the wrong spot.
Transparency rules. Every vote
Okay.
was unanimous.
Super's this dude right here. Super's right here. This is
Doors
Super.
first opened.
This is Super.
Karen Whitfield stood there, ankle monitor blinking, hair wild, eyes blazing. You think you've won?
Here you go.
Screamed.
I'll give you the pistol.
Behind her, a cameraman from a local
Here you go.
news station struggled to keep up. She'd
Here's my
apparently
pistol.
called him herself.
I'll try
I
out
have
your gun.
records on all of you.
Let me try that
She pulled
out.
a tablet, waving it like a weapon. Johnson, you claimed your mother lived with you for
Let's
tax.
test out that sniper.
She died
Ooh, I love the
3 years ago.
camos.
Smith, you've been running.
I hope I don't get banned for this.
Henderson, your son grows marijuana in your basement.
Oh.
But once again, her accusations fell
Good.
flat. Mr. Johnson stepped forward. My mother-in-law lives with us. My mother did pass away, and we miss her every day.
Oh, don't kill! Don't shoot! Don't shoot! Don't shoot! Don't shoot!
For 2 neighbors. No money changes.
Dude.
And
What?
Mrs. Henderson laughed. My son grows tomatoes in the basement with grow lights because he's a chef.
No, the chill dude.
She realized her intelligence was worthless, but she had one more card.
Listen,
left.
Super, that dude just needs the vault code.
Brandon Walker. I know the truth about James Miller.
Did you like the dude that I befriended while trying to give him a vault
You
code?
proved the case. You were paid off. I have proof.
He didn't shoot us. That's the fun part. He just let us go after.
Accusation. Everyone looked at me, waiting. Even Matthew Whitfield.
What do you think of him?
turned. James Miller stepped out from the crowd where he'd been quietly watching.
He's a solo too.
"Man," he said calmly, "I went to prison because
I
the
gotta
prosecutor
go.
hid
I gotta
evidence.
rewind my footage.
Mr. Walker fought for me every step of the way. He's been helping me get back
Sure.
on my feet
Go.
ever since I
Leave
got
with.
out.
Did
You
you
wanna
do
talk about
leave with
proof?
party?
He pulled out his phone and showed a video. It was security footage from an ATM showing
You
me
did,
giving him
because it
money.
didn't
See the
take me out.
timestamp? That's 3 days after
I just
was
left.
released. He tracked me down to help. And here's another from the next week. And the next
I hope that dude added us.
every week for 6 months, he's been helping me. Not because he
Yeah,
has to,
I just got his friend
because
request.
he's a good man who carries guilt that isn't his.
That was you.
The room was so quiet you could hear the live stream comments pinging on phone. Karen looked around
Ah,
wildly,
darn.
realizing she'd lost everything.
Didn't get his
Her
friend's
spy network,
request.
her position, her reputation, and now her
I can
last
go over my
desperate
footage
attempt
and
at
add him.
revenge. She fell to her knees and began to sob. Real tears this time.
Yeah,
not
I'm gonna go
manipulation,
through my
just the
footage real
broken
quick.
crying of someone who'd lost everything. I just
No,
wanted to
rewind
see,
through the
she
live.
whispered. After Richard left, after the break-in, I just wanted to control something, anything.
You
I
found his
needed to know
username?
everything so nothing could surprise me again, so no one could hurt me again. It
Twitch.
was pitiful. Despite everything, I felt sorry for her. The
Oh,
sympathy
you.
doesn't
that's
erase
stupid.
consequences. Rodriguez stepped
I'm gonna go-
forward. Mrs. Whitfield, you missed your check-in. You violated your
Yeah.
bail conditions. I need to
I'm
take
gonna
you
quick
back
add
into
this
custody."
kid.
As he helped her
This
to her
dude.
feet, she looked at me one last time. I'm sorry.
I like
she
his
said.
sniper. It was.
I became the thing I feared.
It worked pretty well for
Someone
speed.
who hurts others. Then she was gone, and the meeting erupted into chaos once more. The weeks following the community meeting were a whirlwind. Datamine Corp's offices were raided by the FBI in 12 states, simultaneously. The investigation revealed a network of over 300 neighbors.
No, my footage blurs it out.
All recruiting locals to spy on their neighbors. The data was being sold to marketers,
It's
insurance
blurred
companies,
out.
and worse. Some of it had ended up in the hands of identity thieves and stalkers. The story went national, with news outlets calling it the suburban spy scandal. Our little Willowbrook became ground zero
Hope
for
he
a
does.
conversation about privacy, community,
It
and
blurred
trust
out
in
the
monitoring.
footage. I couldn't add
I found
him. That
myself back in a
sucks.
role I'd abandoned, legal advocate. Not in court this time, but helping my neighbors.
I got two
understand
people
their
watching
rights,
me right
file
now.
claims, and navigate the federal investigation. Emma Mitchell and I set up
Hi,
a free
Jack.
legal clinic in what used to be Karen's HOA office.
Can't believe my footage
The
got
irony
blurred
wasn't
out
lost
like
on
that.
anyone. 3 weeks after the meeting, I got a call that surprised
Ugh.
me. It was Matthew Whitfield. Mr. Walker, my mother wants to speak with you. She's been in psychiatric evaluation, and her doctors think it might help. You don't have to agree. I thought about it for exactly 3 seconds. I'll be there. The Federal Detention Center was a far cry from suburban Willowbrook. Karen sat across from me in an orange jumpsuit, looking smaller and older than I'd ever seen her. The manic energy was gone, replaced
I'm
by
upset 'cause my
something
footage
hollow.
blurred
"Thank you for
out."
coming," she said quietly. "I didn't think you would. I almost didn't," I admitted. But James Miller taught me
Dude was a
something
chill
about
dude
forgiveness.
too, and I can't
He
add
forgave
him.
me for failing him. Maybe it's time I learned.
He was a
to forgive
solo.
him,
I
too,
grabbed the
not
sniper. It was
slowly.
pretty
The
good,
doctors
too.
say I had a psychotic break. Paranoid delusions brought on by trauma and isolation. It doesn't
Cool
excuse
camo.
what I did.
That's how
It
I
explains it.
quickscope someone, but I got
everyone
killed
was a
after.
threat. I really believed I was protecting people.
Really, finally meet a
Talked
chill
for
dude
an
while
hour
in game, we
about
get
her
killed
ex-husband, the lawyer who destroyed her faith in the legal
by
system,
random people.
about the break-in that had shattered her sense of security, about the slow slide from reasonable precaution to obsessive surveillance, about how Datamine Corp had found her through a Facebook group for HOA presidents and exploited her fears. They made me feel important, she said. They said I was a community safety coordinator. They gave me software, training, a sense of purpose. I was so lonely, so angry, and they gave me a mission. It was a familiar story. Vulnerable person, predatory company, devastating results. What happens now? I asked. She attempted a smile. Plea deal. 2 years minimum security, 3 years probation, $100,000 in restitution. My lawyer, my real lawyer, not Larry, says it's fair. I'll also be testifying against Datamine Corp. She paused. Brandon, I need to tell you something. The private investigator I hired, he gave me a full report on you, including the Miller case. I know you blamed yourself, but the file shows you worked 18-hour days on that case. You filed 17 motions. You fought harder than any lawyer he'd ever seen. The prosecutor who hid evidence, he's being disbarred. I felt tears threatening again. 2 years of self-torture, and Karen Whitfield, of all people, was providing
Man, that
absolute
sucks.
Why are you telling me this?
No, I can't add that,
so much with
dude.
my fear and hatred. I don't want you to do
Dude
the
just
same
went
to
to
yourself.
vault
That
codes.
guilt you carry, it's your prison, and unlike mine, you hold the key. When I left the detention center, I felt lighter than I had in years. The weight wasn't gone, but it was manageable. I drove home through familiar streets that somehow looked different, brighter, more hopeful. The trial was swift. Karen pled guilty to all charges and delivered devastating testimony against Datamine. She detailed how they recruited vulnerable HOA presidents, provided them with surveillance tools.
It's near the spot we go to, so
Increasingly invasive behavior. She showed
Right.
training videos that taught
The,
employers
plane.
how to manipulate neighbors into revealing personal information. She exposed the entire ugly operation. Datamine Corp's executives were indicted on federal racketeering charges. The company
can't mess with it.
Its assets
Darn.
frozen, its victims numbering in the hundreds of thousands.
it's all the way at the end, bruh.
How many other companies?
It could have went for the others. Wanna do that?
Profit. 6 months later, Willowbrook had healed, mostly.
So
Jessica
I know
Park
Vault
was officially
3
elected HOA
is
president on a platform of
right
transparency
there.
and minimal interference. The spy cameras were replaced with birdhouses, real ones this time. The community meetings became potlucks.
I'm gonna go
instead of
open to
battlegrounds.
Vault 3,
And I
and
was
then we can
practicing
open.
law
If we get lucky with
not
the blue one, we
full-time,
can open to
not
Vault
big
2.
cases, but helping people who needed it. Emma and I had partnered to create a non-profit focused on privacy rights and community legal education. James Miller was our first employee, hired to do outreach to others who've been wronged by the system. The day Karen was released to a halfway house, I was there. Not because she asked, but because it felt right.
Okay, I'm gonna
Matthew
quick
was
pull
there
up the
too,
code
along
sequence.
with his sister who'd flown in from Seattle. Karen looked healthier, calmer. The wild energy was gone, replaced by something almost like peace.
I'm right now
going to
pulling up
make
the code.
amends, she said. Feel amends, not just words. I've already started a blog about recognizing surveillance abuse. And when I'm allowed, I want to speak at community groups. Turn my story into a warning. It was a good plan. Redemption is possible, even for a HOA Karen who'd gone completely off the rails. A year later, I ran into Karen at, of all places, Whole Foods. She was buying groceries, oat milk, avocados, kale, the same items that had started this whole insane journey. We looked at each other, then at our carts, and simultaneously burst out laughing. Other shoppers stared, but we didn't care. Still copying my shopping list? She asked with a wry smile. Actually, I said, I switched to almond milk, trying to stay unpredictable. We chatted for a few minutes. She was working as a victim advocate for a privacy rights organization. The halfway house had connected her with a therapist who specialized in paranoia and control issues. Her kids were visiting again. She was, in her words, learning to live with uncertainty. As we parted ways in the parking lot, she called out, "Brandon, thank you for everything, for stopping me, for forgiving me, for showing up." I nodded, not trusting my
bunker
voice. Sometimes
one
the best legal victories don't
right
happen
here.
in courtrooms. Sometimes they happen in
If we didn't get a
parking
blue
lots
key card, I'm
between
gonna check
former
just
enemies who
in
found their way to
case.
peace. But just as I
Bunker
thought our
2
story was
costs
over,
us
my
a blue
phone
key
buzzed.
card.
Unknown number. I almost didn't answer, but something made me pick up. Mr. Walker, this is Special
I'm gonna
Agent
go
Harrison
check if
from the
there's-
FBI. We've just uncovered something in the Datamine files. Your name appears in some documents
I'm missing
from
blue
before
key
you moved
card.
to Willowbrook. We need to talk.
Yeah, okay.
It seems Data Mine Corp knew exactly who you were when Karen started.
I got red.
In fact, they may have orchestrated the whole thing. The FBI field office conference room.
So it means we can head to the one in the snow zone. Oh wait, that snow one's going to be going out.
Making my blood run
and we don't got no way to transport.
Hadn't just exploited Karen Whitfield's paranoia, they'd weaponized it. They had a file on you from the Miller case, Harrison explained. They specifically suggested to Mrs. Whitfield that she should investigate the new lawyer in the neighborhood. They knew her history, her hatred of attorneys. They pushed her buttons deliberately. The revelation recontextualized everything. Karen wasn't just a paranoid HOA president who'd gone rogue. She was a guided missile, aimed directly at me.
We can go for prison,
I asked, though I suspected
because the other one's about to go out of zone, the code
one. You weren't the only one.
I'll start driving to prison. I'm gonna find a helicopter, and I'm gonna continue with that.
After high profitable cases.
That sound okay?
Psychological profiles on people who'd experienced professional trauma.
Have we gone into prison's vault yet?
Back into isolation, made vulnerable to their data collection schemes. You were an experiment. I thought about the 2 years
prison's
I'd spent hiding from my past. How close I'd come to complete.
So every time it was not in zone when we got the red key card.
Had stuck. If the community had turned against me, I might have retreated.
I'm gonna take a helicopter.
Become the perfect victim for data harvesting. Isolated, paranoid, desperate for any sense of security. Karen saved me.
I killed that dude that murdered you.
By being so spectacularly wrong, she forced me to defend myself, to reconnect with who I was, Harrison nodded. And in doing so, you exposed their entire operation. Data Mine Corp executives are looking at 25 to life. The CEO just flipped and is providing evidence on 12 other companies running similar schemes. I left the FBI office with a strange.
Where's he gonna redeploy you? Oh,
anger at being targeted.
You think you can pick up a car or something?
Enough,
or do I have to pick you up?
Karen Whitfield, in her twisted way, had been the catalyst for my.
Are you gliding?
A month later, Willowbrook held its first.
Okay, I'll meet you over there then. Let me
Like
crash the helicopter when I get there.
Digital security, lawyers offering
fire,
kids learning about consent and boundaries. The festival was Jessica Park's idea, but the whole community embraced it. Even Larry Goodman had a booth, offering tax advice. He'd actually gotten better at law after his humiliation, taking continuing education courses and everything. The headline speaker was unexpected, Karen Whitfield, on a supervised release from the halfway house.
Oh, you can see if you got it in your mission items,
no longer
in your inventory.
President, but a cautionary tale with hard-won wisdom. I stood in bushes, she began, and nervous laughter rippled through the crowd. I hid in actual bushes to spy on my neighbor buying oat milk. I convinced myself it was for safety, for security, for the greater good. But fear makes us do terrible things. It makes us see enemies where they
Bye-bye, helicopter. Don't need you anymore.
It makes us build prisons out of our own paranoia. I became everything I claimed to hate. Invasive, controlling, cruel, and I dragged all of you into my nightmares.
Okay, I'll meet you over here.
Honest and painful. Some people cried, others nodded.
I see you.
Fears and prejudices. When she finished, the applause was genuine, if subdued.
Oh, this is different.
Isn't a Hallmark movie. It's messy and incomplete, and sometimes uncomfortable.
Super.
I gave a speech too about
this is a little different than
about
usual.
Guilt and redemption, about the courage to face our failures. James Miller stood
don't you
beside
say?
living proof that mistakes don't have to define us. We all have our bushes, I said. Places where we hide from the world, watching others live while we're frozen by fear. Karen's bushes were literal. Mine were metaphorical. But we don't have to stay hidden. We can step out.
There's a free UAV in here.
And choose connection over suspicion. The festival was a success. Kids learned about privacy rights through games. Adults shared stories of surveillance and solidarity. Local TV covered it, calling it a community that fought back against fear. 6 months after the festival, I got a call that
you already got UAV, Super?
A major law firm in the city wanted to hire me to head their new privacy rights division. The managing partner was direct. We need someone who understands both the legal and human sides of surveillance abuse. Someone who's lived it. That's you. I thought about it for a week. Talked to Emma, to James, even to Karen during one of our occasional coffee meetings. In the end, I took the job.
Well, take the zip line. Dude was trying to enter you, wasn't he?
Connection, not isolation. Karen completed her sentence.
That was a fail. What'd you say?
She traveled to HOA conferences.
I was not paying attention.
Warning about the signs of surveillance abuse. Her presentations were called From Bushes to Bridges, How Fear Destroys Communities. She even wrote a book, donating the proceeds to privacy advocacy groups. The last time I saw her was at Whole Foods, naturally. We both reached for the same carton of oat milk and laughed. You first, she said. I insist, I replied. We ended up buying coffee and sitting in the cafe, two unlikely friends born from the strangest circumstances. Do you ever think about how absurd it all was? She asked.
Bye.
The grocery surveillance, the Bushes, Larry the tax attorney pretending to know criminal
I will.
law. Every day.
Hey, we can get your load out.
Led to revelation. Your paranoia exposed a national conspiracy.
Yeah, we will.
My guilt found purpose. The community discovered its strength. Maybe we needed the absurdity to see the truth. She smiled.
Imagine we run into another chill person.
Manipulation. I spent so much time watching others live. Now I'm trying to live myself. It's harder, but better. As I drove home through
so that was not bad vault.
I reflected on the journey. From a paranoid HOA president accusing me of time-traveling grocery theft to a national privacy rights movement.
Free UAV and
to standing in courtrooms again.
Got score streaks now. We didn't have to go buy them.
The security
I got an airstrike.
Replaced by neighbors who actually talked to each other. The HOA still existed, but focused on planning block parties instead of surveillance. And somewhere in a federal prison, Datamind Corp executives were learning that turning neighbors into spies has consequences. My phone buzzed. Text from Emma. New case. HOA in Texas requiring DNA samples from dog owners. You in? I smiled and typed back, on my way. Because that's what we do now. We fight the absurdity. We protect the vulnerable.
I'm gonna deploy my parachute.
And into the light. And sometimes, just sometimes, we buy oat milk without starting a federal investigation. Though I always keep a receipt, just in case.
Still here? You're one of us now. Subscribe to BD Stories and binge.
I want to go on the roof.
Chat depends on it.
I'm fine. Go ahead.
It started on a sticky Tuesday morning, the kind where even the air seems nosy, hanging heavy between neighbors' blinds and whispered.
Well, I know the perfect thing to do right now.
I pulled into my own driveway after an exhausting 12-hour shift at the firm. My coffee had turned into mud water hours ago, and I had just one goal: make it to the front door before gravity pulled me into the flower bed. But no sooner had my tires rolled to a stop than she emerged, Karen, like a HOA gremlin conjured.
The final boss is coming.
Already mid-stride with a clipboard and that weaponized smile. You can't park there, she barked before I could even open my door. That spot's reserved for the homeowners. I blinked, confused. I am the homeowner. She cocked her head like a confused velociraptor. No, sweetie, you're the renter. Your little lease doesn't come with parking rights. Check the bylaws. She waved her sacred clipboard as if it were biblical. The irony? I wasn't
We're
just
kind of
a
not.
homeowner.
We lost the mood to play Black
I owned
Ops
the
6 for a
entire
little
duplex,
while.
her unit included. I had bought the property 4 months ago after Karen's
You
landlord
agree?
mysteriously decided to retire early. I would later find out
You
it
agree?
wasn't so mysterious. She'd driven him to a stress-induced ulcer.
Playing Black
But I
Ops
had
6
to
for a
move
little while.
immediately.
Lost the mood for
I'd
it.
been overseeing
I
renovations
did.
remotely, letting a friend crash on one side while I prepared to take rent. So Karen,
I'm fine.
assuming she still
I'm
had
fine.
neighborhood seniority, had claimed the common areas like a medieval duchess with a hedge trimmer. I'd heard stories, how she demanded weekly garden inspections, how she fined a 6-year-old for sidewalk chalk, and how she once called animal control because someone's cat looked at her suspiciously.
You will
I hadn't
suck
expected
your.
to be ambushed in my own
If you ever
driveway.
try to do that again
That's
with
my
those
car,
explosives.
I said calmly, popping the door.
No, if I may
And this is my
continue,
driveway.
right here.
I just moved in Unit B.
Emote.
Her eyes
Shit.
narrowed to hostile slits.
Perfect.
Well, that
Hey,
explains
Super,
the
you may
smell
come
of
to me.
kick-out. She glanced down at my work shoes with a sneer.
You wanna come
Some
to
of
me?
us take pride in
Or look on my
appearance.
stream.
My eyes flicked to her housecoat. Pink flamingo print, stained with what I can only hope was beet juice. Right? I said. I started walking to my front door.
I'm chilling.
But she wasn't done. Don't ignore me, mister, she shouted. You'll be hearing from the HOA. She jabbed a finger
Okay, I'm done.
in the air
I'm
like
done
she was
trolling this
casting
poor
a hex.
kid.
Unauthorized parking, dress code violation, trash bin not aligned with regulation angles. I
I
paused
got
on
a
my
sniper
steps.
rifle and
You
I'm
measured
going to
my
get some
trash
kills
bin?
with it. About
18 degrees off axis, she snapped. That's
at least we got a couple vaults
infraction.
looted.
I almost laughed, but I didn't. Not yet. Because here's the kicker. Karen didn't know the HOA president had resigned last week and that I had just been elected to the board, uncontested. A few calls to the former president and a generous donation to the Neighborhood Scholarship Fund had opened a door that Karen didn't even know existed. I planned to wait a week or two before asserting myself. But now, with her clipboard flailing and accusations flying like confetti, it was clear Karen had declared...
No, turtle, no.
Let's take
Wait,
this
I got
up
a perfect
with the
idea.
HOA. She puffed up like a toad in a thunderstorm. We will.
Nice seat.
And when I'm done with you, you'll wish you never stepped foot
Comfortable.
in this neighborhood.
Don't you
She
say,
marched
Super?
off, heels clacking on the driveway I paid for. I didn't even bother yelling back. No need to fight a hurricane with a hairdryer. I just smiled, unlocked the door to my home, and sent a single email, HOA agenda item.
You remember the airstrikes, dude, when we was playing Rebirth?
The board replied within minutes.
How many airstrikes do they
After
got?
the meeting, I poured myself a fresh cup of coffee and looked out the window. Karen was adjusting her gnome army with militant precision. The driveway war had begun, but I held the deed, the gavel, and the receipts. 3 days after the driveway showdown, I stepped out to find a neon orange citation taped to my garage door, fluttering like a desperate cry for attention. HOA violation. Unauthorized commercial vehicle parking, $125 fine. It read in bold, Comic Sans letters, because of course it did. First, I thought it was a joke, but then I saw the footage, yes, footage, attached in the email Karen had proudly forwarded to the entire HOA mailing list. A blurry black and white still from what appeared to be a motion-triggered security cam showed my car, allegedly parked in a way that obstructed visual symmetry of the shared property line. Symmetry. Karen had cited visual symmetry like we lived inside an architectural thesis. More concerning, the image had a timestamp from inside my garage. That's when it clicked. Karen hadn't just filmed the driveway. She'd angled a camera onto my property. The audacity would have been impressive if it weren't so wildly illegal. In our state, any recording aimed into private property without consent was a Class C misdemeanor. I didn't say anything right away. I wanted her to dig her own grave. So I replied politely to the HOA thread. Interesting footage. Did clarify the recording source?
Sorry,
I'd like
Super.
to make sure my property rights
You shooting at
aren't
him?
being infringed. Karen responded instantly. My security system is well within my rights. If you have nothing to hide, you have nothing to worry about. Classic Karen logic.
Nice to try to cosplay a devil, but you failed to kill me anyways.
She attached 3 more images. One of my car, one of my recycle bin with the lid
We're on a killing spree,
and one where
Super.
I was bending over to tie my shoe. Because apparently the curvature
I got
of my
6 so
spine
far.
offended her sense of order. But it was the 4th photo that did her in. A frame-by-frame composite
You got a gas
showing my
mask?
friend, an off-duty delivery driver, stopping by to drop
Okay.
off tools. Suspicious mail activity.
I don't got self
Karen
yet.
wrote.
Need to go
Maybe
find
commercial
one.
use of residence. That's when the group chat
Oh,
exploded.
I'm gonna
Board
split out
member
from
Rick
you.
replied, Karen, are you spying on your neighbors again? Another neighbor chimed in, wait, is that inside his garage? Then it escalated. I got a DM from Angie, a sweet retired schoolteacher 3 doors down. Hey honey, Karen tried to get my grandson ticketed last year for his wheelchair ramp. I'm on your side. I smiled, screenshotted Karen's own admission of surveillance, and sent it to the HOA legal liaison. 10 hours later, the HOA portal issued a notice. Pending investigation. Illegal surveillance of resident property. Karen's fine was quietly withdrawn. Mine was deleted, but she wasn't done. She came over the next day, arms crossed and lips pursed so tightly she could have whistled through a keyhole. So, she hissed. I guess your little
There you
buddies
go.
on the board are
Most
cowering
wanted.
for you now. I looked at her calmly. Actually, Karen, I am the board. I chair the ethics subcommittee. That's why your security footage is now evidence in a policy review.
My sister.
Her pupils dilated. Your what? Your landlord didn't tell you? I said sweetly. I
What?
bought a duplex, both units, which makes me your HOA voting rep and your property manager's boss. Her mouth opened but made no sound. like a fish in denial. I'll have you know I know people in city zoning.
I'm fine.
Finally
I'm fine.
Then they can explain why spying on my garage could cost you a court appearance.
I called that in myself.
Stepping past her with my keys.
Emergency.
She was still sputtering when I closed the door behind me. But the best part? By the end of the day, the HOA website updated its bylaws. No surveillance devices shall face, record, or capture any portion of another unit's interior or private yard space. At the bottom,
YY TikToker.
Submitted by Unit B, approved unanimously. Karen had weaponized a camera. Now it was a new...
It's a YY.
Know in the comments, where are you watching it?
I know it's a YY when they don't stop moving.
Karen was
Sliding and spinning.
A record, really, but she reemerged like clockwork, this time with a new angle.
I'm down for a count for a little. You know that doesn't keep me waiting long.
Typed up on the same tacky template she used for everything. All caps, bold underlining, and 3 exclamation points after every sentence. Unit B in violation of HOA noise ordinance. Reports of loud mechanical banging and disturbance at inappropriate hours. The time
There you
of
go.
the alleged offense, 3:42 p.m. on a Tuesday. The source? Multiple concerned residents.
You die?
Which everyone knew was code for Karen, Karen's cat, and Karen's reflection in the microwave. The real
Okay,
story,
I'm back alive.
my
I need to
friend
go.
who
I gotta
used the
go
wheelchair
dive
and
out
just
somewhere.
moved into Unit B temporarily
A bit.
while waiting for accessible
I'll meet you in
housing,
zone. Okay,
was
super.
unpacking a specially modified hydraulic chair and setting up a height-adjustable table in the living room. The only sounds were the occasional thud of packaging and maybe a squeaky wheel or two. But Karen, ever the acoustics expert, apparently mistook this for a construction site. The twist? She didn't just file the HOA complaint. She also reported us to the city's neighborhood enforcement line, claiming unlicensed renovations and dangerous machinery in residential space. Within 24 hours, a clipboard-wielding city inspector showed up. But instead of a crackdown, what followed was an investigation into Karen. Because Marcus, as it turned out, had full ADA protections and any interference with his accessibility adjustments, even noise complaints based on bias, could qualify as discrimination. When I explained the situation to the inspector and showed the equipment, along with Karen's complaint emails, which generously included phrases like, "These disabled people bring drama," the tone of the entire visit shifted. The inspector's polite professionalism turned into barely concealed fury. "We're going to need to elevate this," she said, flipping pages in her binder. "Do you have a copy of the HOA bylaws?" I handed it over, pointing to the clause Karen had inserted 6 months prior requiring quiet aesthetic harmony between units, complete with restrictions on non-standard equipment. "She wrote this?" the inspector asked. "She proposed it. Passed it during a board
good?
roll when quorum wasn't met." The inspector scribbled rapidly. "Got it. That may be an ADA violation. She's been limiting access." 2 hours later,
I gotta take my earbud
I got
out for a
call
sec,
from the
super,
city
okay?
office. "We're opening a formal review into discriminatory
Wait, put it back
policy
in after.
enforcement." I thanked them and hung up, but the real fun started when the HOA was looped in. Karen, still oblivious, strutted by my porch that evening with her arms full of garbage bags, dramatically plugging her ears. "Some of us enjoy peace and quiet, you know?" she shouted. "Try living in a civilized manner. You might want to stop talking," I said mildly. "Disability Services is reviewing your email
What happened?
package." She stopped. "Excuse me, they'll be reaching out. Something about structural access violations and ableist enforcement." The bag.
Hey, perfect, most
"I
wanted.
have every right to." "Not anymore, you don't," came a new voice from behind me. Rick, the HOA vice chair, holding a printed memo. "Karen, you've been suspended from enforcement privileges pending legal review. You're to direct all concerns through board leadership from now on. This is MY Neighborhood," she screeched, face turning an impressive shade of fire hydrant red. "That's funny," Marcus said from the porch behind me, casually rolling forward, "because from where I'm sitting, it looks like you just got benched." The irony of the wheelchair pun landed hard. Even the inspector, who happened to be exiting her vehicle again, cracked a smile. But the best was yet to come. 3 days later, The HOA voted unanimously to reverse Karen's beloved quiet aesthetic harmony.
How?
Replacing it with a resolution supporting accessibility rights and forbidding bias-complete patterns. It was named the Marcus Provision. Karen, humiliated and furious, posted a public rant in the community Facebook group claiming she was being silenced by wheelchair lobbyists. It went viral, just not in the way she wanted.
I gotta make some food.
Someone screenshotted it and
haven't
submitted
eaten
it
all
to
morning.
a local news blog. The headline: HOA Queen claims
I'm not
she's
getting
the
off, I'm
victim
just going AFK.
while violating disability law. The neighborhood started calling her Karen McClaw.
I want to make a quick
But I
snack.
called her something else. Pending litigation. By the time Karen launched her fourth strike, the neighborhood had already begun to murmur. The woman
Ow, the
was
leg.
starting to look less like a rule
That
enforcer
hurt.
and more like a
Just made my
walking
leg
HOA
socket
themed
a little.
conspiracy theory.
Ah.
But that didn't stop her latest move. A forged maintenance request submitted to our property management portal, supposedly under my name. It claimed I had authorized a structural wall adjustment and requested exterior cosmetic realignment to the side gate area, which sounded suspiciously like Karen wants the gate moved back so she has more room for her herb spiral. She even included a digital signature she'd clearly copy-pasted from my old email signature block, down to the awkward semicolon I always forgot to delete. The request somehow got flagged by our third-party maintenance vendor, who emailed me to confirm. I stared at it for a full minute, blinking. I hadn't requested anything, and the photos attached weren't even from my side of the duplex. They were her fence, her garden, and a close-up of her cat watching suspiciously from the windowsill like it was in on the con. Instead of canceling it outright, I forwarded the request to the property management office and added a single sentence. This is concerning. Please verify who requested this and whether any prior approvals exist. The next morning, they responded, unclear authorization trail, escalating for internal audit and legal review. Karen had no idea what she triggered. You see, property maintenance requests, especially those involving structural or cosmetic changes, require prior HOA approval and an owner signature on file. Submitting one falsely triggers a discrepancy protocol, which meant a surprise inspection was now required on her unit. By noon the next day, a clipboard-wielding contractor and a licensing official showed up to assess the requested work. Karen, flustered and dressed in her gardening hat like she was fleeing a sun-related crime scene, tried to intercept them. I canceled the request, she stammered. Must have been a mix-up. That's fine, ma'am, the official said coolly. We're here to evaluate existing conditions and verify compliance. I watched from my window as they started measuring the fence, examining her patio extension, and scribbling furiously. What they found: a treasure trove of violations. Karen had illegally expanded her patio 3 feet into the shared green zone without permits. Her decorative trellis was actually bolted into a drainage line. And worst of all, she'd rerouted a gutter directly into the neighbor's flower bed, causing a slow, soggy root rot that had killed an entire row of roses. The final kicker? Her custom-built gazebo, which she loved to brag about in board meetings, wasn't just unpermitted. It was built over an underground utility conduit. This isn't just a violation, the inspector said out loud. It's a liability cocktail. I had to stifle a laugh. Karen looked like someone had just told her herbal tea was a government plot. This is ridiculous. I was just helping the neighborhood look better, she yelled. Are you saying beautification is a crime? Not when it's legal, the contractor replied dryly. But falsifying documents is. When the report was filed, the HOA issued a formal notice of code breach. She was ordered to dismantle the patio extension, remove the trellis, and pay for landscape restoration. Over $3,200 in total. She tried to appeal. The HOA president replied with one line. You signed the bylaws. Page 17, section 5.2. No unauthorized structural modification shall be permitted under penalty of remediation fees. I heard she tried crying during the board hearing. Claimed she was set up by neighborhood radicals. But then, her digital trail service, including a browser cache full of DIY permit-faking websites and YouTube tutorials on how to make a digital signature from email screenshots. The board went silent for a beat, then added an internal misconduct charge to her file.
Boop.
From that point on,
Boop.
any future requests she submitted would
Put my
require
earbud
2
back
board members
in.
and a photo ID for verification. But it wasn't over yet. Because of the drainage reroute,
Cracking the
neighbor
gold
filed
one?
a civil damage claim. She was now facing a small claims case, a HOA fine, and mandatory landscape replacement. All because she tried to get my gate adjusted. When the ruling came through, a maintenance crew showed up. Not to help her, but to
I got
undo
me some
everything she'd installed. One of the workers joked.
I can eat my crackers while I play.
Innovation reign of terror? I tipped him $10. She watched, red-faced and trembling.
Edge knuckle soldier out of, please.
You'll regret this, she muttered at me from across the hedges. You're destroying the aesthetic balance. I smiled. Funny, that's exactly what you put in the maintenance request. By the time her patio was nothing but flattened mulch and broken dreams, Karen had become visibly unhinged, floating around the neighborhood like a bitter ghost with a clipboard instead of chains. Her once daily HOA turned into
some delicious
passive-aggressive
munchable
walk,
crackers.
muttering about how things used to be before the board got infiltrated. But she wasn't done. No, Karen launched her boldest move yet. A rogue HOA meeting held in secret, scheduled quietly at her house on a Tuesday evening under the misleading title Friendly Wine Night for Community Beautification Discussion. Translation: she was trying to pass new bylaws without quorum. I caught wind of it thanks to Angie, the retired school teacher and low-key neighborhood hero, who forwarded me the flyer Karen had slipped under her doormat. I'm not a fool, Angie wrote. This smells like a mutiny disguised as Merlot. She wasn't wrong. The flyer was printed on floral stationery, the wine part in size 24 font, the meeting part in size 8. I checked the HOA guidelines. Any official meeting without notice to all board members, posted agenda, and formal invitation constitutes a breach of HOA regulations and potentially violates state nonprofit procedural law. And guess what I had? Legal standing and a notarized cease and desist template, courtesy of my day job in corporate compliance. So while Karen laid out her cheese platter and prepared to recrown herself supreme ruler of lawn uniformity, I printed the cease and desist, added a fresh HOA stamp, and walked right in. She was mid-toast. To restoring order and eliminating unauthorized modern paint colors, she declared, glass raised. 8 neighbors were sitting awkwardly on mismatched chairs, blinking at her like they'd just realized they'd been invited to a cult summit. Evening, I said from the doorway. Karen's face fell faster than her property value during the mold inspection. This is a private event, she snapped. You weren't invited. Correct, I said, holding up the document, which makes this not an HOA meeting but an illegal gathering attempting to subvert board protocol. Therefore, I stepped forward, theatrically placing the cease and desist on her coffee table. You're in violation of HOA bylaw
let me click what my codes.
3.4 and state procedural code 14-552C. Congratulations. You could hear a cheese cube drop. One of the neighbors, Rick, blinked at the paper. Wait, this is real? Notarized and time-stamped, I replied. You all are welcome to stay and enjoy the wine. But if a single vote is cast or a rule is proposed, every attendee becomes complicit in a procedural fraud. A long silence. Then Angie, sipping a Pinot Grigio like a seasoned detective in a cozy mystery, stood up. I think I'll take my cheese and leave. For others followed. Karen looked around, desperate. This is my house. I don't need permission to have friends over. Totally fair, I said. But calling it a community governance gathering on record, that crosses into official HOA territory. You're abusing your power, she shrieked. You can't just burst into people's homes. Tell that to the bylaws you helped write, I said, pointing to page 12, which she once enforced on a family for painting their fence too yellow. The neighbors started filing out, most shaking their heads. One muttered, I just came for the Chardonnay. Karen lunged for the cease and desist, tried to crumple it, and caught her finger on a cheese knife instead. This isn't over,
bunker,
she hissed. You think you're clever, but you're just a renter with a title. Correction, I said. I'm your landlord's boss, your HOA superior, and now the official whistleblower on your procedural fraud. That night, I filed a formal misconduct report. The next morning, the HOA issued a mass email.
I'm trying to talk, but I don't know.
Unauthorized meeting attended by suspended Further unauthorized activity will result in permanent removal. Karen replied to the email chain in all caps. I'm being silenced by corrupt outsiders. Her email bounced. Her board email access had just been revoked. The final poetic moment? The neighborhood Facebook group replaced her weekly...
Literally, I had, since he shot at me, I had to put my crack in my mouth trying to talk.
Failed wine mutiny. But when she re-emerged, she was armed with a new weapon. Impersonation. One quiet Thursday morning, a man in a khaki shirt and a generic clipboard knocked on my door
manners.
And introduced himself with all the charisma of a low-budget soap opera villain. I'm with the City Code Enforcement Division, he said, avoiding eye contact. We received a report of unlicensed construction activity. My eyebrow went up. Oh? What construction? He stammered. Excessive stonework near the front entrance, suspicious piping under the hose spigot, and... He looked down at his clipboard as if searching for divine inspiration. Suspicious porch overhang coloration. That's when I knew. This wasn't a city inspector. This was a random guy Karen probably bribed with banana bread and a false sense of power. His badge said visitor. His clipboard had a Walgreens logo on the back. And worst of all for Karen, he had no idea that the real city inspector was already scheduled for a follow-up visit on her property that very same day, and had arrived early. I saw her down the block, clipboard in hand, watching silently from behind a privacy hedge like an extremely professional raccoon. I invited fake inspector inside. Can I see some credentials? I asked. Of course, he said.
Man.
Then patted his pockets and muttered.
Why does everyone suck compared to us?
Why don't I walk you out? I said, opening the door just as real Inspector Rebecca approached, eyebrows high and amused. Oh, good, I said brightly. Another city inspector. How many do you send for overhang coloration? Fake inspector went rigid. Ma'am, this is an internal inspection. You weren't notified because, it's above your pay grade. Wrong answer. My pay grade, she said, flipping open her actual badge, is Senior Code Enforcement Officer. What's yours? He opened his mouth. Nothing came out. Karen, watching from her porch in a visor that made her look like a suburban poker dealer, realized what was happening and tried to vanish behind a rosebush. But the damage was done. The imposter started sweating. I was just trying to help, he muttered. A nice lady said the guy was breaking building laws and... You do know impersonating a city official is a criminal offense, right? Rebecca said coolly, dialing her phone. And it carries a fine, possible jail time, and a permanent bar from any certified inspection work. Wait, jail, he yelled. I just moved here. Then you picked the wrong welcome committee, I muttered. The man bolted, literally sprinted down the street to a rusty hatchback with a crooked license plate. But before he reached it, a patrol car already called in by Rebecca skidded to a stop beside him. Turns out, she didn't dial the city office. She dialed dispatch. Karen, still half-crouched behind her hedge, was spotted instantly. Ma'am, can we speak with you? An officer called. We believe you may have arranged this appointment. I don't even know that man, she shouted. I just noticed some paint violations. I was trying to protect the neighborhood instead. You mean the one you tried to regulate with the cheese party? I added. She glared at me with such venom I thought her visor might melt.
How'd you die?
In the end, the imposter was cited for impersonation and released with a hefty fine.
What?
While Karen was slapped with a formal neighborhood harassment warning. The third one in
that sucks.
The HOA updated the community charter to include a brand new clause. No resident shall solicit or stage the presence of unaffiliated individuals claiming city or municipal authority. Below that, it read, rule added after incident involving Unit A resident and Inspector Tony of the Walgreens Enforcement Division. But that wasn't the most humiliating part. That honor went to the photo. Someone, probably Rick, snapped a perfectly timed shot of Karen behind the bush, mid-crouch, visor tilted, clipboard in mouth as she tried to hide. It became the community group's most shared meme. When you realize your fake inspector's about to get real arrested. Her caption nickname? Karen the Codebreaker. After the fake inspector fiasco and her surprise cameo in Visor vs. Law. Most people assumed Karen would lay low. But not Karen. No, her next move lit up the neighborhood, literally. One evening around 9:30 p.m., I noticed something strange. A beam of industrial-grade light seared across my bedroom like I just opened a portal to the sun.
I'm dead.
I thought it was a car turning around, but the beam didn't move. It intensified. I opened the blinds and nearly went blind. Karen had installed what could only be described as stadium-level floodlights on the side of her house, all aimed directly at my windows like I owed her money, and she was interrogating me through lumens. Not just one light, or mounted on repurposed flagpoles, elevated with what looked like a rickety extension ladder duct taped to a planter. She even labeled them with masking tape. Safety beam number 1, security 2000, and my personal favorite, HOA defense grid. The light was so powerful it cast shadows inside my refrigerator. The next morning, Marcus wheeled out of his room squinting like...
Got him.
Did we get annexed by NASA? He asked. Or is that woman trying to give us vitamin D via radiation? I stepped outside and followed the power cords. She connected the lights through a mess of extension cables. One dangled...
Is Vault 10 not been open?
Fence. Another plugged into an outlet that had clearly been water damaged for years. I didn't confront her. I documented everything. Photos, video, sound levels, power flickers.
No way!
I made a call to the Regional Energy Compliance Office. Because in our state, any outdoor lighting above a certain brightness and improperly shielded, especially if it affects another resident, is classified as a residential light trespass.
2
And
0
Karen,
6.
bless her egotistical heart,
Open.
committed 4 counts in one night. 2 days later, an inspector
Let's go!
board showed up. This one with a proper ID, safety vest, and a lux meter. As luck would have it, Karen was outside again, adjusting her grid and humming some kind of self-righteous anthem when he arrived. Ma'am, the inspector said, shielding his eyes. Can you explain the purpose of these lights? Security, she sniffed. I've seen suspicious behavior near the property line, such as trash bins slightly ajar, unapproved footwear. There was a sandal on a Tuesday. He blinked. And these lights, did you install shielding or check the wattage regulations? They're 1,500
Did someone try to go down here?
each, she beamed. Got them on clearance from a police auction. It's tactical grade.
Damn dirty.
He replied dryly. That's the problem. I watched from my porch, sipping a soda like I was front row at a Vegas show. 20 minutes later, she was issued 3 citations. 1 for overbrightness, 1 for unshielded floodlight directionality, and 1 for improper home electrical wiring, because her setup had overloaded a shared transformer box. The cherry on top. The total fine was over $1,900, and she had to take the lights down within 24 hours. She begged. This is about neighborhood safety, she cried. You're punishing me for being vigilant. No, he replied. We're punishing you for trying to microwave your neighbor with illegal flood beams. That night, the HOA sent out a
Bruh, I just grabbed that.
light pollution, and you. Why laser tagging your neighbor?
I just got that.
Karen responded in a fury, writing a Facebook screed accusing the community of siding with the shadows and claiming I was waging a smear campaign from the darkness. The post included a photoshopped image of me with glowing red eyes, labeled Master of the Lightless Agenda. It went viral. The comments were brutal. One said, Karen, are you okay? Blink twice if you've been possessed by a porch demon. Another, plot twist. She's building a solar farm to power her hate. By the time she removed the lights, her front yard looked like a tech scrapyard. Even better, the HOA passed a new bylaw. All exterior lighting must comply with regional standards. No fixtures may face another unit's private living quarters. They named it the Glare Clause. Karen's name wasn't mentioned, but everyone knew, especially when Rick updated the HOA portal and added an icon to the clause. tiny floodlight with an angry face. After her sun godlike system was dismantled in a neighborhood aiming for the new peak, most would have retreated, licked their wounds, and taken up bird watching or pottery. But Karen doubled down. She marched right into the local courthouse and filed for a restraining order against me. Not because of violence, not because of harassment, but because, in her words, I was orchestrating a campaign of psychological manipulation via coordinated neighbor intimidation and digital surveillance. Yes, you read that right. Apparently, I was running a suburban spy ring from my living room. Her evidence? A printed packet of alleged text messages from me to other conspirators, full of phrases like, target her roses at 0600 hours, and Operation Floodlight Reversal is a go. One message read, Karen must be neutralized. Begin porch propaganda phase. It was absurd. I don't even use the word neutralize unless I'm talking about coffee acidity. But the court was obligated to schedule a preliminary hearing to assess her claim. When the court date arrived, I showed up in a button-down shirt and clean shoes. Karen arrived in a cape, yes, a literal cape, lined with faux velvet and a USB stick around her neck like it was a holy relic. This contains the truth, she said to the bailiff. I almost choked trying to hide my laugh. When the judge asked her to explain the nature of the harassment, she launched into a 15-minute monologue about neighborhood warfare, psychological subterfuge, and HOA coups. She even quoted Sun Tzu. The judge, remarkably patient, finally asked to review her evidence. She handed over screenshots of texts, poorly cropped, with font sizes that shifted mid-thread, and one message timestamped February 30th. That's when my attorney, bless his sharp little glasses, spoke up. Your Honor, we've analyzed the document metadata from the USB provided. These texts were compiled in Microsoft Word, saved as a PDF, and several entries were created 2 days after this court filing was submitted. The courtroom went quiet. Karen's jaw clenched so tight you could have cracked walnuts on it. Additionally, my attorney continued, the contact names in these fake messages include Evil HOA Henchman Number 1 and Rick the Fence Assassin. The judge blinked. Are you suggesting this man operates a covert landscaping unit? Karen stood up, trembling with indignation. This is psychological warfare. You don't understand. They moved their patio chairs slightly closer to my property line. It's a coded message. Ma'am, the judge said flatly, this isn't a Netflix conspiracy drama. It's family court. He dismissed the restraining order with prejudice, meaning she couldn't realize. Then came the kicker. He issued Karen a formal warning for submitting fabricated evidence. If you file another fraudulent claim, you will face perjury charges and be banned from representing yourself in future civil matters. Her cape twitched. You're all in on it. She
right by 3.
The judicial system is compromised by porch anarchists. The courtroom laughed. Even the stenographer had to pause typing. On the way out, Karen tried to dramatically storm past me, but her cape got caught in the door hinge. She spun, tried to yank it free, and fell backward into a
You head for Vault 1, I'll head for Vault 3.
How to spot misinformation. Poetic? Beyond. The moment went viral online when someone in the gallery, Rick again, posted the whole exchange to a community subreddit. Title,
Oh, the code in chat, I will.
To file restraining order against landlord gets slain by metadata. The top comment, when Photoshop
Let me grab a couple chests before I do anything.
HOA wins. The fallout, Karen's credibility tanked. The HOA board voted to remove her from all emergency contact lists and revoked her previous incident reports as compromised due to pattern of manipulation. Even better, the community passed a new rule. All inter-resident disputes must include verified documentation from both parties. Falsified claims will result in
now I gotta memorize number 1's code.
Karen's name wasn't printed, but the memo had a watermark. Faint, glowing cape.
Turn it YouTube closed.
After getting publicly humiliated in court with a cape and a Word doc full of fake espionage, you'd think Karen would take the hint. But no. She shifted her strategy and picked a new target. My dog, Bentley.
Hey, can you type this? I can tell you the code numbers.
The personality of a marshmallow dipped in hugs. His greatest crimes are tail wagging too violently and begging for peanut butter with the emotional urgency of a Shakespearean.
0422 2021.
I found out via another HOA violation letter. This one printed in red ink like it was from the Vatican. Subject: dangerous animal.
There's 3 2s and then 021.
Report,
021.
Lunged at
That's your
Karen
final.
during a
That's your
morning
final.
walk and exhibited sustained hostile eye contact. Hostile contact.
Okay,
I almost laughed
pull it up.
until I read the next line.
04222
HOA may require muzzle or reassignment.
021.
Read reassignment isn't even a real thing. She made it up. I checked the HOA surveillance logs. Nothing. I checked our own ring cam, and that's when I saw it. At 6:03 a.m., Karen stood at the edge of our shared sidewalk, slowly reaching into her tote bag like a villain in a soap opera. Then she whistled. Bentley, thrilled as always, padded over to the fence wagging like an inflatable noodle. Karen dropped the treat over the fence.
Got it.
He sniffed, paused, sniffed again, ate it. 10 seconds later, he started.
Now we both got our own bunker loot.
Went back, zoomed in. The treat bag was labeled homemade sweet potato biscuits, but tucked behind it was a tiny red shaker, cayenne pepper. She had spiked his snack. I rushed Bentley to the vet, who confirmed he had irritation consistent with capsicum exposure. Not lethal, but painful. Furious, I compiled everything. Video, vet report, timestamps, and Karen's fake complaint. I sent it to the HOA, the City Animal Welfare Department, and my attorney. Within 24 hours, the HOA suspended Karen's animal complaint privileges permanently. By day 2, a welfare officer showed up at her door with a warning about animal endangerment and tampering with pets on private property. She claimed it was an allergy test. The officer didn't laugh. He just handed her a notice. Any further tampering will result in criminal charges. You are under formal monitoring. Karen exploded on Facebook. I'm being framed by paw prints and Photoshop, she wrote. The dog is in on it. The post included a blurry screenshot of Bentley licking peanut butter off a spoon with the caption, "Calculated manipulator." The comments did not go her way. One said, "Girl, he's literally smiling. Seek help." Another, "Plot twist. Bentley's running the HOA from behind the scenes." The final nail, Rick and the HOA board passed a new bylaw unanimously. No resident may interact physically with another resident's pets without written permission. Any violation will result in a $1,000 fine and temporary HOA communication ban. Below it, a photo of Bentley, tail midwag, tongue out, absolute icon. Karen received a $500 fine for the unauthorized feeding and a permanent ban from filing any animal complaints. When she saw me walking Bentley a few days later, she tried to hiss something under her breath, but he just wagged at her like the unbothered king he is. I smiled and said, "Careful, he's watching your aura." Karen clutched her pearls like I just summoned a demon dog. But the community wasn't done. At the next HOA bulletin, a comic strip appeared at the bottom, drawn by a teenage neighbor, Karen versus The Dog Father. It featured Bentley in sunglasses, sitting on a throne made of leashes, while Karen wept into a pile of shredded violation letters. Underneath it read, "You come for the king, you best not bring biscuits." Our neighborhood's annual spring fling was legendary. Bounce houses, barbecue, face painting, and a raffle so intense people once arm wrestled over a ninja blender. This year's event was extra special. It was being co-hosted by the HOA and the local elementary school. With a charity base.
I'm gonna try to hurry over here before gas goes over it. If gas goes over, I can use my gas mask.
Everything about it. Events breed chaos, she told anyone who'd listened. And children are sticky. When the planning emails circulated, she replied to all with a 2,000-word manifesto about the dangers of public.
There's got a red geezer too.
Philosophers in one terrifying sentence. I hereby reserve the right to audit any fraudster. She was politely uninvited from the organizing committee. That didn't stop her. On the day of the event, the community center lawn was busted. Kids running, grills sizzling, neighbors mingling under sun tents. Then, at precisely 12:17 p.m., Karen struck.
I parked the helicopter.
A yellow vest that said Event Compliance Manager. She strutted onto the
Hey,
lawn holding a
I
stack
parked
of
the
papers
helicopter.
and a walkie-talkie that wasn't even turned on. Shut it down, she barked at
See
the
what's
face
that?
painter. This booth is in violation of Permit C12.
Give me a sec, I gotta go
temporary
AFK.
pigment dispersion. The face painter, a high school art student, just blinked. It's glitter. Karen stormed the raffle table next.
That's funny, the helicopter's perfectly parked.
You need municipal verification for prize distribution under neighborhood code. Rick,
Is that funny how I did that?
stared at her like she just accused him of smuggling toasters. Karen, you're not authorized to be here. I am the permit queen.
I can give you some
She
cash
said.
if you can buy me a
I have
loadout.
the forms. She pulled out a folder stuffed with paperwork. So poorly edited it still had template text like, insert regulation here. Parents started whispering. Kids started crying.
Should I explode that helicopter or leave
There
it?
was a magician. Paused mid-card trick as Karen grabbed a microphone and screamed, "This event is illegal." That's when two real officers, who were there on volunteer duty,
I'm not
also
diddy you.
happened to be Rick's cousins, calmly approached. "Ma'am," one said,
Uber Eats!
"are you impersonating a city official?" "No, I am the event authority. I have jurisdiction," she yelled, waving her fake walkie-talkie like a wand. "Ma'am, that's a Baby Monitor FX200, the officer replied. "And this vest says Party City on the tag." She tried to run, but her orthopedic sandals weren't built for speed. They caught on a folding chair, and she tumbled into a beanbag toss like a villain in a slapstick movie. The kids cheered. One shouted, "The glitter witch is down." The officers escorted her to the parking lot, while she shouted about
Welcome in,
freedom of
Circus
speech
Master.
and lemon bars without ingredients.
That's it, right?
By 4 p.m., the party was back in full swing.
Okay.
Bentley wore a Raffle 1 bandana. Marcus won a cake. And Rick announced over the mic,
Jeez,
"Everyone
bit of
not
overkill,
arrested
don't
today
you
for
say?
making this event a success." The next HOA email contained the most glorious sentence I've ever read. Effective immediately, Karen from
Oh, no, I'm
Minneapolis
just
is
shooting him in the
prohibited
head.
from attending or organizing any neighborhood event, official or casual, until further notice.
He actually tried
They
it.
called it the Public Safety Clause. But the neighborhood, we called
Yeah, I
it
blocked the
Justice
dude
with a
on
side of
Warzone
coleslaw.
and stuff.
Karen's meltdown video, captioned "Karen tries to
Sad.
shut down charity, gets bounced IRL, hit 200,000
It's annoying.
views in a week." She posted a rebuttal claiming the video was deepfaked and that the real Karen was in Florida. No one believed her, especially not the kids, who spent the rest of the spring calling her Came On, the glitter cop. And to this day, the magician ends every trick by saying, "And for my next illusion, I'll disappear faster than
No,
Karen's
hope he
legal
doesn't.
authority." Following her dramatic removal from the charity event, beanbag defeat and all, Karen went quiet for a record.
Trash talk us now. I don't like
Neighbors
him because
speculated she
I
had
don't
left
like me
town.
trash talked
Others
much
said
anymore.
she was regrouping at a silent yoga retreat or plotting a takeover of a different HOA. But
I
no,
get if
she
you're
was
joking,
building a
but
lawsuit.
you're
One
straightly
morning,
saying
the
that.
HOA board received a formal notification from a local law office representative, Miss Karen Redacted.
You thought! Now here's some food, fatty.
Of emotional distress, workplace-style harassment,
Oh, where's that at?
irreversible reputational
That at the
damage by way
bunker?
of public ridicule and HOA negligence. Translation.
Yeah, it
She was
is.
suing us for being mean to her. Her claim included vague references to
Hope it is, because that's gonna be funny.
unwarranted HOA resistance. And
It
my
looks like
personal
it.
favorite, public spectacle weaponized through coordinated laughter. Her attorney, clearly just
Oh yeah.
attached a thick binder of supposed evidence. Inside were blurry screenshots of memes, photos of Bentley wearing themed bandanas,
Yeah, wait.
and HOA emails she annotated in red pen with phrases like, "Tone is too casual," and passive-aggressive use of exclamation marks.
I'm gonna go in here and
But
see
the
what you
crown
had in
jewel was
yours.
Exhibit G, an attachment titled "The Paper Trail, Personal Documentation and Truths." which turned out to be
Wait,
a
open your
53-page
inventory.
PDF of her own
Super.
neighborhood gossip blog. She had kept it private until now.
Open your inventory and then look. Do you got like a mission item?
She submitted the full archive as part of her legal claim, believing it would prove her victimhood. Instead, it was a smoking
Oh,
gun.
so you didn't get a
Page 12
card?
included the line, "I've learned that filing 3 complaints in a row overwhelms their review process. Chaos is leverage. Page 19 described Bentley
Yeah, I got a
as
red
too
key
friendly
cord.
to be useful, but possibly exploitable.
Wanna
if he
head back
chases a
over here?
squirrel at the wrong time.
Oh yeah, yeah, we
Page
can get
31,
something free from
a
that.
brag about staging an unauthorized HOA powwow.
I had
disguised as a
another
cheese
airstrike.
tasting. And on the very last page,
Anyway, I got you.
sometimes you have to break a few bylaws to remind people who sets the tone. When the HOA lawyer read through it, he literally asked, "Is this performance art?"
Ah.
During the pre-trial conference, the judge asked Karen's attorney point blank, "Did your client just submit 53
I miss.
pages of evidence against herself?" The attorney blinked twice and replied, "Your Honor, we would like to withdraw..."
I like this aimer better than the other.
The judge called for a review
What?
of the blog's contents, citing reasonable concern for ongoing bad faith conduct by the plaintiff. The lawsuit was dismissed with prejudice, meaning she couldn't try again. The court issued a public order stating Karen had failed to demonstrate harm not caused by
I'm
her own
concerned
actions,
about that.
and provided substantial documentation of self-authored disruption. In layman's terms, she literally proved she was her own worst enemy. The fallout was immediate. The HOA issued a public memo. "We appreciate community patience
And
as
that
we handle
idiot.
this legal matter. Going forward, we reaffirm our zero-tolerance policy toward abuse of procedural resources." But it was the community's...
Man, I wish that was that or
Someone made a dramatic
bunker.
reading of Karen's blog and uploaded it as a podcast, titled The Suburban Saboteur. Confessions from Unit A. Rick voiced her blog entries in an over-the-top Billy voice. Angie played background flute. It had over 10,000 listens in a week. A local satire
Say goodnight.
magazine ran a cover story titled, "Woman Sues HOA for Her Own Behavior, Surprised It Backfires." The subtitle, "Plot Twist. The call
Yeah.
was coming from inside the bylaws." Karen, humiliated yet again, tried to spin it by claiming she was launching a memoir. But no one bit, especially not the publisher she emailed, who responded publicly, "We do not accept manuscripts that are legal exhibits in failed lawsuits." From that point on, her gossip blog was known around the neighborhood as Karen Leaks. And just like that, her credibility evaporated signed, sealed, and self-sabotaged in 53 glorious pages. Following her courtroom crash and burn, Karen disappeared again, but this time with twitchy paranoia in her eyes. Word on the street was she'd become obsessed
I was
with
trying
the
to
idea
snipe
that
him.
sensitive documents had been left behind in the HOA clubhouse from her short-lived board reign. Never mind that she'd been suspended months ago, and that all board files were digital, stored in a password-protected cloud drive with logs tighter than Fort Knox. Karen didn't trust the cloud. She believed the real truth was hidden on a flash drive she'd once used to save HOA templates and unhinged PowerPoints about Bush Height symmetry. One rainy Tuesday night, while the rest of the neighborhood was at trivia night at the local bar, Karen made her move. Dressed in all black, complete with a hoodie and gardening gloves, she snuck onto the clubhouse property. The clubhouse was locked, obviously, but Karen, never one to respect boundaries,
Wanna cab that buy
pulled out a set
station?
of duplicate keys she'd illegally copied once earlier when she was still allowed inside. She slipped in quietly, or so she thought. What she didn't know was that after the last tampering incident,
I'm going over here for this dude.
silent alarm triggered by unauthorized card entry. And better yet, a motion-activated security camera now fed straight to my phone. At exactly 9:42 p.m.,
I just threw a tomahawk, picked it back up, and threw it back at him.
Karen, crouching by the clubhouse printer,
Hit him
like
twice
she
with
was
the same
about to disarm
tomahawk.
a nuclear device. I called the police immediately. By 9:48
Is that annoying
p.m.,
sometimes when I do
2
that?
officers were on site. But the best part? They caught her mid-squat behind the filing cabinet with a USB drive in her mouth. She'd apparently dropped it and, panicking, had picked it up like a dog with a bone. The officer asked her calmly, "Ma'am, why are you trespassing on private HOA property?" Her reply, muffled through flash drive plastic,
Give that tomahawk back, we don't
"Claiming
serve
my
it. Oh,
intellectual property.
gotta ruin it!
So you broke into a building for PowerPoints?"
I was
They're
going to pick it
legally
up,
mine,
I was picking it off of
she
his
said.
body, then going to
You
throw
have
it back
no
right
idea
back
what
at him.
secrets lie in those templates. The officers exchanged a look. One said, "Ma'am, you're going to need to come with us. I'm the rightful vice president of Landscape Uniformity," she screamed as they escorted her out, still holding the drive in her hand like it was the One Ring. When word spread, the community group chat exploded. Rick posted a screenshot of the live footage and added, "The files were not in the computer. Someone else made a meme. Karen's face superimposed over Tom Cruise from Mission Impossible, but with the tagline, Operation, US Believable." The HOA filed a police report for trespassing, attempted data theft, and unlawful use of master keys. Karen received a misdemeanor citation, was officially banned from all HOA properties, and had to turn over her remaining key copies under supervision. But that wasn't all. When the HOA board reviewed the camera footage in full, we discovered she didn't even look for a file.
I'm trying to eliminate people right now. It's like my main mission.
Mumbling about cover-ups and template corruption. She even
I've been
tried
just
to
straightly
download
going for
something
fights.
onto her flash drive, only to realize the clubhouse computer had been offline for maintenance.
Going back to the bunker, I guess.
She recovered was empty, blank, absolutely void
Come on,
of content.
Super. You know where we're
Her
headed.
credibility. That week's HOA email was titled
Back to the bunker.
Reminder. Keycard access
How many times have we been to that
logs
bunker in this game?
Don't be like Karen. It ended with a bolded sentence. No personal flash drives allowed.
Yeah,
from
since it's
HOA
one of the
computers.
buy stations
That
has the
rule's obvious
furthest.
now, right? The neighborhood's running joke became, "Don't plug in random drives or you'll catch a Karen." And to this day, the clubhouse keeps that USB in a jar labeled Exhibit A, the data that never was. If Karen had learned anything from being arrested for flash drive burglary, it sure didn't show. Just 2 weeks
I'm gonna
later,
start sprinting
she
over there with
launched
my
what she
knife.
called the Truth Initiative. A name she probably thought
You
was
drive.
noble, but in reality meant she had printed 200 flyers with wild accusations and left them on every porch, windshield, and mailbox in the neighborhood. The flyers, garish, misaligned, and clearly printed at a gas station, had a headline that screamed, "Warning, your HOA is corrupt," in size 72 font, with subheadings like, "This is not a drill," and "What they don't want you to know about pet bandanas." They
I got 2
accused me
tomahawks
of
now. I'm gonna go
laundering money
into
through
here.
bake sales, claimed Rick was secretly running a fence
Camp in the bunker.
and alleged Angie, the retired schoolteacher, was the real mastermind behind community surveillance.
We got wild to zone closes in. Grab that drone when you enter. There's a drone where you are entering at. There should be one.
Karen named
Grab
three
it.
neighbors as co-conspirators, each described with thinly veiled slander. The one with suspiciously
Can you open the door for
patio
me?
furniture, the alleged lawyer,
Thank
and
you.
the fence guy who never blinks. Unfortunately for Karen, the alleged lawyer was in fact a very real practicing attorney named Paula from Unit G, who just happened to specialize in defamation law. Within 48 hours, Karen was served with a cease and desist and a
Dude's coming up, dude's coming up,
formal
dude's coming up,
suit for
dude's coming up.
citing reputational harm, willful fabrication, and emotional distress caused by cartoonish public slander. Rick joined in citing harassment and false accusations involving fence-based extortion. Angie filed suit not for money, but for the right to publicly address
Okay, let's go
Karen
back in.
at the next HOA meeting under a clause allowing open statements by aggrieved members. Karen tried
Just
to
right here. Get on,
claiming
camp on the other
flyers
side. We
were
camp here.
Performance satire. Her argument fell apart when neighbors
Wait,
produced
I know what to
doorbell
do.
cam footage of her hand delivering the flyers with a dramatic whisper
Okay,
of
super.
"Spread the word."
Yeah, no,
Paula's legal team compiled all footage, photos, and digital copies of the flyers
Oh,
and
wait.
filed a full libel suit in small claims court. The trial date was set, and the news traveled fast. Someone even made parody flyers mocking Karen's original. My favorite had a headline that read, "Warning, Karen still exists."
Yeah, I was trying to no-scope him.
What she
I still
doesn't want
did.
you to know. She ate 3 neighbors' patience and 1 entire HOA rulebook. Karen's reaction? She doubled down and emailed the entire community using an address she wasn't
The other
supposed
one,
to have.
there's more up here.
Claiming she was the victim of a deep state HOA smear campaign led by undercover
Bro, this is no fair. Maybe you just double up on people.
Four-legged enforcer, and Rick as the defense. Her email was flagged, banned, and forwarded to the judge as part of Paula's case. At the hearing, Karen tried to plead innocent.
Oh, come on. Come on. Why is it me? I need armor.
And she said,
They don't have, okay, they have plates.
but not as
It's like
myself.
my only plate right
The
now.
courtroom groaned.
Thank you.
Paula's closing remarks were scathing but elegant. Ms. Karen has turned neighborliness into a battlefield, and the only thing she's truly managed to expose is her own ego. The judge ruled in Paula's favor,
Okay.
fining Karen $2,000 for libel and ordering her to issue a public apology. She
Mountain?
tried to fake the apology using ChatGPT, but hilariously forgot to remove the line.
Let out.
AI
Let out drop.
model. I don't possess personal
Clear
opinions.
snipe.
She was
Be a
forced
clear
to issue
opening
a
if we can get a
second,
good
handwritten
scope.
letter posted to every mailbox she'd previously bombarded. It began, "To whom it may concern, I am sorry if you misunderstood my intentions."
Is he camping? He's camping the house.
From there.
Super. I'll go from the other. You go in there. I'll go from here. Okay.
Angie even turned it into a haiku. Karen became the face of failure.
Ah! Suck it! Suck it! Don't never camp my lobbies again! Get killed by Tomahawk!
Clubhouse under a plaque that read, "Karen's last stand."
I literally look in and then throw a Tomahawk at him.
And just like that, the printer ink she weaponized came back to stamp defamer across her own.
Sorry, I overreacted.
After the lawsuit, the parody flyers, and the community-wide dramatic readings of her failed apology, Karen's reputation was left.
Oh, I used it to revive!
But somehow,
Say goodnight.
she still believed she was untouchable. That illusion cracked the day she received.
David, that's also final dude!
One that wasn't from the HOA,
Did you?
but from the property management company. It was a formal lease violation one. Breach of community standards.
Let's go!
Interference with community governance. Continued
Dude's humping.
result in lease termination proceedings. Karen was
Yeah, he humping
stormed
something.
into the leasing office ranting about discrimination, which hunts and shadow governments. But she didn't know what made it so satisfying.
Let's go!
Quietly transitioned ownership 6 months ago. After her original
That bunker strategy worked out. Return to lobby, please.
Read, stress ulcers. I bought the property. Legally, I was her landlord's boss. And the property management company she was now
back me
threatening
out.
with a lawsuit.
I need to check my
I
level.
didn't micromanage until now. The manager called me after her meltdown. "Hey, we're moving forward with termination," she said. "You good signing off?" I didn't hesitate.
Yeah, it's not good as zombies gave me. I was getting tons of levels from zombies.
Karen,
Wanna try a V-Bird?
months trying to control me
Rebirth?
through fake violations, rogue policies, and Kienle's dog treats. Now needed my signature to stay. When she received the official eviction notice 3 days later,
Wanna go to Rebirth?
she paced her lawn for 2 hours straight like a Sims character having an
Yeah.
existential crisis. She tried calling the property manager again. No luck. She tried emailing. Nothing. She finally showed up to their office in person, demanding a meeting with the actual decision maker. They agreed and scheduled it. With me,
Let's try at
she
least like
walked
one
into the
match
meeting room,
and see if
already
how far
mid-range.
we can make
I
it.
stopped dead when she
How about we
saw
try
me
one
seated at
match
the
and see
head
how
of the
far we
table
make
with the
it?
lease file open in front of me.
Rebirth.
You? She spat. This is a setup. No, Karen.
Resurgence.
I said, calmly sliding the
Just
termination
resurgence.
clause across the table. This is a lease.
So we gotta wait out.
One you violated.
That
repeatedly.
one's like.
You can't do
Oh.
it. I have rights, and you've trampled everyone else.
Oh my
Your
god.
landlord disagrees.
Oh wait, not public.
That landlord is me. She blinked, trying
You
to
forgot to
compete.
disable it.
I demand mediation.
Private.
Mediate. Remember the restraining order?
Okay.
The flyers?
Wait, what?
The floodlights?
Turn it up again.
This is retaliation. This is paperwork.
Oh my
I
boy.
handed her a copy of her
Why
lease
wait?
with
Oh,
every
sorry,
violation
cat.
highlighted in yellow. Her hands trembled. Where will I go? Anywhere you like. As long as
I'm waiting on us to start, so I'm gonna pet my cats.
like the moment after a symphony ends.
Just let me know when we
everyone
start.
realizes the noise is finally over. Karen stood, shaking with fury, over a cup of pins as she left.
That was an insane match.
Landed upright, mocking her with perfect.
I hope we don't run into the airstrike dude again.
Angie baked a cake shaped like a moving truck. Bentley wore a Buy Karen bandana.
Warzone.
Rick updated
Yeah.
HOA portal with a
What?
small notice.
Wanna play?
Occupancy change pending. Beneath it, a note.
Okay, after this match,
Sometimes the
drop
HOA
off.
doesn't evict you. Your behavior does. The countdown had begun.
Oh yeah,
30 days to vacate.
that one dude we was playing with earlier,
was now living on
he's
borrowed
blocked.
food, and every time she passed my window, she refused to look up, as if averting her eyes might somehow.
Turns out he's a complete little to us. He's a complete little to us. Basically. We won V1 and he was just complete. We're in a match right now. You gotta wait.
No, somebody said you. No, somebody.
I swear to God, if we run into those darn airstrike spammers. Airstrike, 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 airstrike. Oh my God, I could. What? Right there?
We're headed to the war.
Want to collab with us? Grandpa? Load up reality. That's what's me and him's on. Grandpa's getting on reality, so you can actually talk, communicate with him.
Enemy soldier incoming.
I'm gonna explain to Grandpa what the dude why we blocked him, so I can't completely explain it to him. Yes. No, I am great. I'm only great here. Should say super. Got your earbud in?
Not yet.
Right here. 2 people. You plug in your earbud. Send a collab, Grandpa. Send a collab. Oh wait, you're in. Put your earbud. We need to stay together, cause let's go for the lighthouse. I think the lighthouse is like the best idea to go for. A legendary tier sniper.
Enemy soldier incoming.
SDR awaiting target data.
16 rounds, out.
That's you, okay. Yeah, you can tell the difference between Grandpa's.
Hostile UAV in the area. Target grenade.
Super.
Negative BDA.
Hostile shooter. Setting waypoint. Eyes on enemy.
I haven't installed those.
Enemy dropping into the AR.
Change the max.
I think lighthouse is like a good spot to camp.
You're the last one standing, soldier.
Last
Five
one
until
standing.
the squad can redeploy.
Tossing flash.
Your squad mate is redeploying. Well done.
Yeah, I'm chilling in the house. Come to me.
Got some loot here.
Enemy UAV is online.
Grab that self.
All squad mates are in the safe zone. You've got gas moving in.
I got 2 down.
Enemy deployed an advanced UAV.
Change the max.
I'm gonna alert them to our location quick.
Stand to you, soldier. Stay sharp.
Last one standing.
You have reinforcements inbound. Enemy soldier incoming.
Wanna take my butt out for a sec? Hello, dude?
Slow down, Rob. Get away.
I can hear your conversation.
Your squad is down. Stay alive to bring them back. Your squad mate's back on station. Good work.
Probably sitting with a whole bunch of fucking things.
Hostile airstrike incoming.
Oh, that won't work on me.
Enemies are dropping into the area. Watch the side. Hold that corner again. Wow.
They were trash talking me the whole entire time.
25.
So I was hiding in the house.
You lost that one. We're gonna double you next time.
Man, that sucked. Yeah, I can say. Bop 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 bop. Okay, oh, you already returned. Okay, I'm gonna invite Grandpa. We can go back to casual. Let me invite Grandpa. Mute my broadcast down here. There we go, now we can start. You ready, Super? Yeah, Super, would you like to explain what Sad did? Dude turned out to be real rude. We 1v1 on multiplayer. Yeah. Hey, can I have the rest of Gnarly's Grandpa? Can I have the rest of Gnarly soda?
I don't care.
No.
I'll drink Dr. Pepper.
Flat.
Don't like the taste of it.
Check your gear in this time for fatality break shortly. The real thing is coming soon.
Oh yeah, me and Super won. So I think that's our 4th win today.
Enemy dropping into the AR.
Grandpa's trying to get back used to this. It's pep time. Which way are we heading? Right here then. Should we let Grandpa join us in the bunker? Should we let Grapple join us in the bunker?
I'm gonna go to hill.
We're heading for a bunker. Super, do you want me to just go for it? But turn to your side. This way. It's already. Jump. Head to that yellow waypoint. People are heading for here too. Shoot them. Hit him. Oh, he's cracked. He's cracked. Okay, they're heading up here, not here. I'm about to grab a gun.
Hunt down the enemy.
NDBR, ready for launch.
You want me to just go through the vault? I take my earbuds off. You gotta pay attention now. Blue key card. Hello?
Enemies are dropping into the area. Watch the skies.
Over here. In the vault. I'm trying to grab their attention. I got a blue key card. Check them. I made him fall for it. Super. Where's the blue vault? I need to find where the blue vault keycard scans are.
Enemy UAV overhead.
I still get it before I died! I'm still gonna get finished, but I killed a whole team. For the dude down me, I holded a frag out and tossed it at the last second. can't open my inventory, so I don't know if I kept my mission items.
Survive to redeploy.
So, when I get, oh wait, contract complete.
Contract complete.
Nice.
Supply box is secured.
I'm up next. I should be fine.
Right to your right. Almost your turn, soldier. Stand by.
I'm up next.
Earn redeployment or die trying.
Standard kind of thing, got frags, okay. Nice try to smack me, now you're dead.
Setting waypoint. Back in business.
Oh my god, where's the vaults at? I know they're somewhere around here. There's that one. I need to look for a vault. I got a blue key card for the blue vault. Is it these open insert? Super boner.
Setting waypoint.
I'm right now gliding over the boner.
Taking effective fire.
Nice job. I think I can loot 3 vaults at one. Do you remember Vault 1's code? Do you remember Vault 1's code?
Enemy UAV
Bruh.
overhead.
Give up, just give up. Super. I'm at a buy station. I'll just buy back. Or you yourself. Yeah, this vault hasn't been opened.
You've got a loadout inbound.
I'm gonna pull up my vault codes. I'm pulling up vault codes right now.
You've got gas inbound.
I know this one is something 3 2s in it. Grandpa, just give up! I'm gonna get Grandpa to loot the bunker so he can get some guns. He got your revenge, Grandpa. He spawned above you. Yeah, blue access key card. Imagine I get a red access key card. Okay, I'm gonna grab 2 weapons, like you and you. And then I'm gonna head over to my next vault. I'm heading to my next vaults, okay?
I'm protecting the supply station. If you reach it in time, go on in the discount.
There you go.
Enemy UAV is online.
I already got like one vault code open so far. I've opened so far tons of vaults today. How much vaults have you opened, Super? Yeah. You hate opening them, Mom? Opening them? Or you think they're useful? Yeah, I can open vaults 2 and 3.
Enemy soldier incoming.
I'm opening vaults, right now opening vault 2. And I'm gonna go, put in the code for vault 3. So I just loot, I've been looting a lot of stuff. Look at my cash, Super. Oh, no! I'm by my back. I'm gonna glide back over there.
Your squad is barely up. Get this done on your own.
Grapple here. We're all dead.
So you gonna take my controller?
I'm going to get you some better stuff.
I'm alright with what I have.
We need bought back.
Where's the butt back at?
Buy back,
Someone buy me back in.
Why do you have voice line, Super? I'll get you out of the car.
Oh my god.
I
could have done it.
But you don't know how to buy back.
I'll figure it out.
So, oh wait, it's a free. Click buy. Click X. Click X.
Your squad pays for your release. Get ready to redeploy.
It was free. Fire sale. You had it for free. No, it was the other thing. I can buy a loadout too. For us, Super. Where's that one on? What? Bruh! Look at a hand. I was trying to do something. I'm gonna take your sniper out of your loadout. All I want is your sniper. Got me avoided. Oh wait, I know what else I can do since there's a fire cell. Free self-revive, gas mask.
Precision airstrike available.
Can you teleport, dude? Grandpa? Honestly, I think vaults might be our new strat sometimes, Super. We should call one of the, like, our vault games our vault strat. I know. I'm gonna trick him. Didn't go that one.
Leave the flight station before time runs out to receive the discounted item.
Oh, you killed him? Man, look like he just got clapped 10,000 times. If we do. I don't know. Is Grandpa? It's good. Yeah, Grandpa's catching up. I'm gonna have to start getting kills once again.
My station vulnerability exploited. Good work, team. Discount is applied. Change the max. Your squad mate is the most wanted target. Eliminate the threat to secure supply cache, reducing time in the contract. Enemy dropping into the AO. Changing map! Change the max!
I can handle myself sometimes.
Friendly loadout drops on the way. All squad mates are in the safe zone. You're losing ground, moving. Change the max!
Yeah. That bunker location where that buy station's at. Right. Yeah, that is one of the, yeah, there is, probably one is. I'm gonna take a car and check. I still think, I still got that blue key card, if I'm correct. No, I don't. I don't got no key cards. Sad. It's gonna be a key card vault, I'm guessing. There's only three codes in all the rest of the key cards. I'm going up here. So I see a free roadkill. Thanks.
Gulag locked down. Area's clear.
I'm gonna go check if there is a bunker down here. No, there's no bunkers. This is a clear bunker zone. No, loadout drop.
Loadout across your way.
We ran out of cash. They had a well, military box. I can quickly have all my stuff back. Oh my, yeah, that's a lot of cash. Oh my god, Super, get out of the tower! Oh. Chat, help me! Chat, help me! You can't kill me, I'm immortal! Try me! Try me, I'm gonna kill you all! Yes! I killed him! Still killed him! Hey, Super. Super. You can go there. Hey, I still killed him beyond death. I said I still... Dude is confused.
I would have had him.
Loot Goblin. That's where you died, Grandpa. That's the dude that kill you. You down? He is. Can you go get us, please?
Lock me in.
Yeah, I need bot back too. Hey, I got down, before I got down, I marked an airstrike zone. You got a gas mask?
You're in the target range. Don't let up now.
He goes, no, don't go into the...
He can buy one.
Your squad will get you out of here.
Told you. You can buy a gas mask. Loadout drops right here. So, we do got streamers. We got fellow streamers in our game. Can I get your sniper, please? Thank you. Stupid. Is it him against? It's grapple, grapple, grapple. Hand me your controller. Hand me your controller.
No, I'm doing it. Where's the ass?
You're going to die. Right there, right there, right there. There. Right there, right there. Grapple, right there.
I see it.
Right there. Just look around, look around, look around.
inbound. Marking two safe zone.
Turn around. Head. Get. Up on the mountain.
One
One of five.
I didn't see you the last minute, alright? I tried.
That's why you shouldn't carry LMGs. They have too much kickback. You carry an actual AR.
This is a freaking game. Alright?
Yeah, but LMGs are too kickback and make you too slow to run. They might have high damage, but they have too much kickback. They hit shots. Yeah. Why don't you carry an AR instead of an LMG?
No, didn't find one.
LMGs make you slow. They knew I was in the building anyways, because after they killed you, he's in the building, god damn. They knew. Don't know how, they just knew. 2 levels left. Man, I want to play something. I'm getting bored of Warzone now. Huh. Question, how do they know I was in that building when no one saw? They didn't have a UAV active because I didn't hear nothing about UAV. They just knew I was there magically.
Enemies are dropping into the area.
Oh, he's getting about a damn fence company.
Enemies are dropping into the area. Watch the skies.
Yes, sir.
Playtime's over. Playtime's over.
Stand by for deployment.
Stand by for deployment to the war zone.
Where are we at? Is there like no vaults nearby?
I gotta leave.
What, you heading for Vault 10?
Hunt down the enemy. Enemy soldier incoming.
I'm heading for Vault 3.
survival found. 2 remain. Primary objective is to eliminate all targets.
Like around the end game, I got another blue key card, a red key card actually. I was confused why.
2 supply boxes secured. 1 remaining.
Keep that. Keep that. Three 9888805. You got a blue key card? Lucky. Better get your butt over here then. Okay. I'm over here. Try to find you a helicopter. You are lucky. We can fly up to each one. What? Do you have anything good on him? No, those missiles, other in hand, everything he had was trash. So, what we'll, what? Wait, what? What?
16 rounds, out. Now the fight starts. Almost your turn, soldier. Stand by.
Killed him. Literally, if you look at my stream, what?
Artillery fire. EOM. Over.
Hey, listen, work smarter, not harder.
Failure means elimination.
I'm gonna quick head to bunker 1. You wanna head up to bunker 2? Is right here. Actually, you're almost here. Well, I'll head to bunker 1 after we loot bunker 2.
Squad won the fight. They're redeploying now.
Back in the fight.
Stuck on a helicopter. Grapples in boneyard. That's good. Now, I'm gonna look for the red key card access, because if we can get a red key card access, then we're chilling. I'll have to pick that up, because you have the blue key. Since you have blue, I'll take red. Let's see. First, nothing. So, I noticed they only can come out of these blue glowing chests. Nothing. Did you actually try to steal that from me again? Super! Stop trying to take my legendary KSV. Oh, wait, where'd the helicopter go? Yeah. Okay, so all we gotta do is run up to Vault 1 and open it. And you're already distracted by killing someone. Vault 1 is out of circle. You coming? I'm gonna check my inventory real quick. Do I got any? Nope. Okay. Yeah. Oh. Oh, guess I don't have that one memorized. Okay, so it's 0422201. 21. Did my job. Master lockpicker. Oh wait. Isn't that master lockpicker by now? Look at this. Look at our cash super. I can already buy nether. Buy this a loadout. I want to find out what those other three access things are at. The others. Don't do it to them. They don't deserve it. What? Because they shot at you're gonna kill them now?
Setting waypoint.
Yeah, I'm gonna go look in Boner and see if we can get lucky to find the red keycard access. So I usually find it a lot of time at Boner. So we gotta find out what the other vaults are at. Who? What did you do to him?
Night, motherfucker.
Yeah, I'm gonna first check over here through some, see if I can find some blue light chest. Because I know they only can spawn through blue light chest. Oh yeah! You shouldn't have bountied a psychopath. There. Psychopath. Right, super. Is one of them? No, radar. There's another. Just, nope. Another? Nope. Thanks for saving Grandpa. Oh, free UAV. I know. They're not close to me still. I'm constantly. Ah! No, it sucked. Guess what card I just found? Blue access key card.
Primary objective, all targets eliminate.
I literally got another blue access key card. It's not red, it's blue. It's blue. Because you can open multiple vaults with one key card. I'm looking for red. Good. Good. I'm warning you. You actually stuck me in your gun though? You kill him? Thank you.
Gulag is your last chance. Fight to earn redeployment.
Okay, I need to land for my stuff. Cause on my actually the blue access. You pick up that blue access key card off my body. Okay. I'm needing a red access so we can have both. I'll get a red one open. Cause we've never done a blue and red access in the same match. We've done cold blue and red, code blue, code red, but never did a code blue and red.
3 out of them.
He's got tripled up on. Okay, go ahead. Okay, I need to continue looking for the vault key cards. So I'm gonna go ahead and look for color red key cards. Nope, that's not blue box. No blue box. Nope. Right here, on top of the building, the gay person is.
Whoa.
He killed you? Now we're stuck. Oh, he's still at the gulag.
Get to the end of the safe zone.
Stabbed him.
Is that you?
I'm dead. Wait, I know those where our vault's at. I remember one of the vault locations in the snow area. We just need to try to get color access. You can buy us both back. I'm gonna go check if that vault, if I'm correct, there's a vault there. Where's that bridge at? Okay, the bridge is right there and the tower's there. Okay. I'm gonna quick go check this tower out, because if I'm correct, there should be a vault at this tower. Here's the tower. There's another blue chest. Seven.
Where you all at?
I'm right now trying to find a red keycard access. Grandpa's fighting people, as usual.
I hear you. I'm down again. He knocked out behind me. He knocked out behind me.
And that sucks. Grandpa, you still on the reality stream?
I think the reality's off.
Yeah, he was kicked out. I didn't know.
Yeah, it's off.
Your squad is getting you out of here. Stand by. Back on fire.
He's over there with you, Super. Or he deploys him wherever he was dictating. bunker here, but I don't know where any key cards are at. Sucks, because I don't got that colored key card. Box over here, is it blue light? It's okay. This one of them. Nope. Doesn't got what I want, but I got plate box grab. This sucks. Can't find what I want. Need a red key card. Killed another dude. I'm fine. Grapple, put on shields.
I don't know if I'm following you or him. I can follow him.
Shotgun, I can use that later in the fights. I think I'm gonna go for this helicopter. Putting there now. I must want to right here.
You've been lost. Kill enemies and secure supply.
Can't get a break. They're always on me.
I got 4 kills. I used it good.
They were all on me, Super. I just go on the roof? No, not safe. Guessing. I need one level. Tell him to reload. Want me to tell him to reload his reality back up?
I don't know about reality. I want to go back to get pot of coffee. That's what I want to do.
Go ahead. Grandpa's gonna make a pot of coffee. I wanna play something else.
We'll play something else.
Play. We got any other like game modes could we do other than this one? You can do it. I shouldn't do something. I want to do something else. Doing this map repeatedly gets boring. Limiter? Yeah, sure. When Grandpa gets back, he's not gonna. I don't know if he will know the map. Or is it the same map? Oh, this is that. I played this already. It's where you have to get the most cash. So vaults are our best friend. So vaults. Okay, then I'm gonna head for Vault 10. You head for Vault 1. We go open all the vaults that we can. So honestly, vaults will give us plenty of cash. Cause isn't it having to have the most cash? We're playing Plummeter.
Go ahead and play it. I'm gonna go watch TV.
Oh, Grandpa's gonna go watch TV. Don't get into your broadcast. Could we just go play some zombies or multiplayer? Might not give much of XP. It might not give much XP, but we can still do pretty well. With Dad's gonna have a cookout. Let's play one match. Make sure to kick the lucky guy. Let's go do that. You gotta kick him because he. Okay, there we go. Go ahead and start it. After like a couple matches of this, can we do some multiplayer and see how good we've gotten compared to doing multiple games of Warzone? See how good we've gotten.
Go.
Who? Who? Oh, me? Oh. Let me pull up my... Here, I'm gonna... Don't start it yet. I'm gonna post all the codes in the Discord, and I'm gonna mark the numbers on each code. What vault to go to. Gotcha. People over here. How do you guys know this? Me and him. Secret. Literally, I still want to add that chill dude that wants the vault code for 3. You mad at me for doing that? I like this sniper. Sad I can't use it now. Could you try that? Go through my footage. It's another video because I don't know if I did this video or the other videos. Cause I have to stop my videos sometimes when I gotta. Cause I can't have my streams too long. I try not to stream too long. Yay! Okay. Well, that's an issue. I'm gonna have to use my phone. Discord. I'm gonna use my phone Discord because I don't got my Discord logged in my computer. So I'm gonna tell you each vault code, and then I want you to tell me when I say ready. So I need to open my Discord. Or couldn't you just text me it? I'll just cause all you could do is type it to me. I know one of the codes. Correct 06, and that will be hashtag 10. Here's Vault 10's code. I'm gonna go through each code, because I know there's only 3 codes that we can get. Because you can hand... Tell me the username. Don't know. Why did it send me back? So 0422204221, I think. I'll make sure I'm correct with that. Okay, so got that one. 04. 04222021. I got it. I'm gonna put that in as bunker 1, and then I got bunker 3 left. And then now we can have Discord permanently open, so I don't gotta open through YouTube most of the time. Super. So. Okay, give me a sec. I'm trying to pull up this 04222021. That messed up. And hashtag 1. Send. There's Bunker's 1's code. I got Bunker 3 last. Give me a sec. I gotta let him through. What's that? Okay. I got like one more bunker code to put in, and that's Bunker 3. My little Princey needs to move his... Got the message. Okay, so bunker 05. Okay, so I got this 301-915-8805. Who is it? Because I know if they keep it up, I will get rid of their comments. 30. Is it 30 I said, or 31? I've got now gotta go double check. Go away, dude. Honestly, we're being polite. If you won't stop with the trying to get clapped in, we're gonna ask you please to leave or you will be blocked. Oh my god, I didn't get to see it. Get one. Okay, 301-98805. 301-98805. Three 301-98805, and that will be bunker 3. So 301-98805. Okay, I think I got one. Come on, Discord. I think I got it in my brain. Come on. Final one. Give me a sec, I'm trying to open it up. Yeah, put messages. What? Why didn't it put me in this one? Supers. There we go. Okay. So, and final bunker code.
I need Looney Foil. You know what's that?
No. And I'm gonna hashtag that with 3. And bam! That's all 3 bunker codes. Now, start it. Let's go, got all